supernatural nonsense in space.
The final frontier.
Vampire nonsense, the final frontier. We only have one vampire, so... you may notice we have a new player playing Petruchio. Pam just, some people just aren't into streaming, and that's okay. So luckily, Maya is our new player today. So, Maya, oh, it mirrored. You're right next to me. So do you want to start off by introducing yourself and your character?
Sure. Yeah, I'm Maya, playing this hacker vampire, B. Petruchio, of mysterious and indistinct gender, if I'm getting that correct.
I left the characters gender ungendered, basically, so people can just play what they want.
Cool. Yeah. Am I correct in assuming that, he sort of, started the Underground Railroad Corporation, or just...
He did the groundwork. Someone else did the financing. But yes, Petruchio has been running ostensibly running a tourist agency, which is a legitimate agency, but their, backroom business is an underground railroad that traverses systems and is very, very helpful. And y'all will get to do a little bit of that today, because I think last week's plot development was a little too abstract. So, but yes, so Petruchio ostensibly started it, but it's more or less unspoken. There's someone else is bankrolling this. There's just on the other hand, it's, tourism in itself is a very lucrative business if you know what you're doing. So, next, Merc.
Hi, I'm Merc. I'm playing Idun, a Welsh, not a werewolf, wolf-blood, who is technically the muscle for the firm, and has a bunch of relatives both in and out of the city. Or at least he'll call them relatives. They're as good as family, some of them are actually his family. And he has contacts a lot of everywhere. Even though he used to work as a bouncer for a bar.
And a whole lot of other work.
Mainly that.
Dracus, your turn.
Hi. I'm Dracus. I'm playing Klaus. They're the party's sort of healer, but they're also a necromancer and a drug addict, and generally disliked because they use magic. And yeah, I definitely didn't drug my friends at least twice last week. Sorry, Pricely.
That's cool. It happened. She had a good time. Maybe.
What you left with your friends? You also roofied the entire neighborhood park last time too, so you know.
Yep.
Yeah. It happens.
Mistakes happen.
Right. Well, speaking of Pricely, how's your hangover?
Yeah.
In character. Out of character, I'm not going to get into that, but in character, truly.
A little woozy. Yeah, hi everyone, I'm Summer Splinter. I play Bricely, who is a changeling travel agent for a very legitimate business. A very legitimate travel agency. No funny business at all happening here.
Okay.
I know apparently insists upon drinking werewolf liquor, not meant for non-werewolves, so.
Okay, but it was glowing.
Fair.
How could you not drink the glowing stuff?
This is
How
the
could you
future.
not
Come on.
drink glowing?
All right. So we've gotten a few details of what happened last week. Does anyone want to give us a quick recap of the events of last week while I finish writing my notes?
I will. So
Yay.
we all had a good day at work. That was kind of delighted. And then we all went to the bar afterwards. The bar where Dune used to work. And so Dune drinks there for free. But nobody else does. But he does get a free drink on occasion for his friends. And his friends decided to drink with him the werewolf liquor, moonshine. Silver glowing liquid. Not really meant for non-werewolves or wolf bloods. And Klaus, because Klaus is used to this kind of thing, weathered the storm, but Presley ended up face down on the bar after that. And at which point our night of drinking was interrupted by noises from the park, which we ignored for a long time because it wasn't our problem. We were off shift. You know, not my circus, not my monkeys. I'm trying to have a quiet drink here. And eventually it ended up becoming our problem when Wolfblood Cop went to intercede because Dune is kind of family with most of the Wolfblood in the city. You know, they're not really family, but they're pack, which is almost as good. So he had to go help out, and because it was dangerous, everyone else went with him because they didn't want to get their free drink dispenser killed in a riot. And we ended up going to the park and disbanding the rioters there. Well, we didn't disband them. We first didn't disband them. We sidetracked them. Then a bunch of bad stuff grew up around the rioters, and like stuff that would kill people if we let them out into it. So we ended up having to basically group them all together and knock them all out so they wouldn't run in panic.
That was the second time I drugged my friend.
The second time she drugged my friend.
The first time, to be fair, I was trying to sober her up after the moonshine.
They were. That was where admirable. Yeah.
So Klaus bug bombed the entire park with, I believe, Rohypnol, and
something like that.
Something like that, and
Space drugs.
Set all the rioters to sleep and nearly knocked Presley out too, but not quite. And then the brigade, the Changeling Brigade, showed up finally with their magic steeds to eat the fire thorns, which were the bad stuff that grew up around the park, and they did. And then finally, Dune's sainted aunt arrived, and we had a short interlude with her as we spoke about the moat on the next day.
Auntie Batman. I'm goddamn Batman.
Oh, and her aunt, their aunt had a really horrible familiar that screeched, and I really want to kill it.
It was a bot spirit. You can't.
But
kill
Dune
the
has
bot
told me
spirits.
not to.
Trained and special.
I love bats.
Oh, it was cute, but it was a bastard.
It likes to yell to get your attention, and when a bat yells, it yells at a noise only dogs can hear, pretty much, which is how both Klaus and I were able to hear it.
Okay.
About as annoying as a dog whistle.
So let's before I get into the prologue, Klaus, I forgot to fix your character sheet. Change Death 2 to Matter 2 and Death 1, because that's somewhat more useful.
Okay.
And makes sense with their background.
Cool.
Not that there's anything weird about Klaus aside from the fact that they really, know a lot about medication. But, they're a medic. That's normal.
Totally normal.
Totally normal. Nothing weird. There is no war in Bossing Say. Oh. All
I'm
right.
so excited that's on Netflix now.
Okay, so today's game is going to be a little bit. The crew is going to go on an actual mission of sorts. A travel agency mission, like you do. And there's going to be kind of some more opportunity for improv and yes and as planned, and not because I started playing Animal Crossing yesterday. I swear it has nothing to do with that. No, seriously, it's like,
I
'cause, you know,
completely believe you.
yes, ending my players is how we got Welsh Batman, which is so much fun to do the voice for. Which is part of why you know, we're starting with a little scene from Dune's past
Oh dear.
today.
Oh dear.
So yeah. So Dune, it is about so Dune, you are about 18, 20 years old. You escaped to the city from the Wolf Country,
Aye, that I did.
and you stayed at a kind of like a youth shelter. They don't strictly call them homeless shelters in this city, because they just sort of call them like
Temporary rooming.
general shelters. So there are a lot of other kids that maybe don't have homes, maybe escaped to the city from other parts of the planet or from other systems. Definitely other supernaturals fleeing persecution, some of whom are out, some of whom, like, they raise the hairs on the back of your neck, but you're like, yeah, they're not talking about it, you know. From there, you started doing odd jobs around the city, mostly under the table because you're not in a union. And you kind of have most of your formal training is either fighting stuff or farming stuff. And only one of those is really applicable in a city environment.
Aye.
But
They don't generally hire garden hands around the city.
there is some of that, but it's all like froofy horticulture, like fancy plants, and then there are those weird like fairy fruit trees in the city parks that just don't seem to require much maintenance.
Aye.
As
Something not natural about them.
And those that do tend to have to be changelings, or weird shit happens. But you've done enough of these odd jobs to afford your own tiny, shabby shoebox out in the
unfashionable neighborhood.
Yeah, out in Market Town. Basically, you're like some strange fraction division of a very large warehouse. You're surrounded by bohemians and rich kids pretending they're slumming it. Because this is how gentrification works in the future, too. But your place is cheap, and you kind of have a bathroom that you share with someone else, and, you know, it's not bad.
Aye, it could be worse.
And you know to close the window before going to bed, even though you don't have air conditioning and it's summer. So you are very disoriented when you wake up to find your window open and a breeze coming in.
Well, I can't say I'm objecting to the breeze. However, I don't suppose that it's any good reason for the window to be open. So I'll get up and I take a look around, because I don't suspect that it's been open for good reasons.
All right, roll wits investigation.
All right. Give me a hot second. Wits investigation. Cool. Using the values I have on my sheet now, right? Or
yeah, just use your sheet as it is now. That's fine.
So that's that's an 8 plus a 6 is 14. 2 raises.
So that's 3 successes.
Yes.
Yes. Let me bring up a character sheet first.
Oh, that's shady.
Oh, wait. Oh, for goodness sakes. Maybe it's for the best I couldn't use my tablet for this stream. Okay. That one. It said open. It's jealous because I have a switch light now. they don't spend as much time together anymore.
What color you got?
I got turquoise.
Ooh.
Because I like a nice turquoise. And it's almost a nice turquoise. Anyway, so you are taking some of the room, and they are rolling.
It's a 5 by 7. I don't suppose there is much to be taken stock of.
Yeah, we'll say it. They didn't roll too well. Instead of trying to remember how this character sheet works, yeah, it's very difficult to hide in a 5x7 space that some would call a van. Except a van would be kind of more fun because you could then live in whatever part of the city you wanted.
Yeah.
It's a converted shipping container that they put in the middle of the warehouse, put a bed in, and hung up a what do you call it? Picture, and said it was a what do you call it? Gentrified what nonsense or what have you. Still, it was cheap, and I could afford it.
It's a bed sit rather than a flat. So yeah, you're a little disturbed. Well, how do you feel when you go to close the window and there's someone else in the room with you that you didn't notice when you first woke up?
If you're here to rob me, you've picked the wrong person. As you can see, I have very little, and I would like to keep what I have.
Well, that largely depends on how this conversation goes.
Do I can I smell her?
You can see her. Yeah, you can smell her. This definitely seems to be a female presenting person. So that would be I would say that's investigation or intelligence investigation or occult, whichever is higher.
Both are the same.
Okay.
So that's 2 and 4. Okay, I get a 7, which isn't quite good enough.
No, it's like this something. Yeah, you're a little uneasy about the situation. It's like, so I take it no one told you about me. Otherwise, maybe you would have asked for help before coming to the city.
I do not know anybody in the city. My father gave me his weapon and a foot out the door, and that was about it. I came to the city hitching a lift on a vegetable truck that was delivering to the city. And I have made my own way, and this is now my place.
Well,
This is my territory, such as it is.
Well, so I see for a wolf blood you have been raised in all the proper ways and forms.
I
do not mean to encroach on your territory, young wolf.
I'd like to say the phrase. I forgot the phrase.
Oh, Odom Datakas.
Odom Datakas. I'm going to write that down again.
Just gotta remind yourself of it every week.
Yeah, put it on my character sheet so don't forget.
Needlepoint on a pillow.
You laugh, but I can't.
My hunt. So yes, indeed, I wouldn't be bothering you, except honor and blood demand it of me. But rest assured, I'm not here to interfere with your life and your goings-ons unless you want me to. Because more boots on the ground in this urban environment is always a nice plus. But I understand the world you're running from. And your dad gave you one hell of a favor by telling you to run.
Aye.
Even if your dear ma didn't quite agree.
My sainted mother chased the car, but the truck was wise and did not stop for the werewolf.
I mean, she's a Rahu, so speed isn't necessarily her renown. It's not quite mine either, but I know what I'm doing. Yes, your dear sainted, if you like, your dear mother is my elder sister.
which would make you my sainted aunt.
Very kind to say, but I'll give you some time before you commit to calling me that.
In
the
this
city
case, I
don't
use it to. I use it to denote which of my relatives are pure full werewolves and which are not. My father, for instance, was not.
Well, werewolves ain't saints, in my opinion, which is part of why I'm here, not back in the wolf country, living like a queen or something. Chicken?
It's a force of habit, though. They will
Plantation
call your face off for
numbers?
saying otherwise.
When I was your age, I was already a full werewolf, but the spirits called me out to the city.
A strange place this is. The trees are unnatural in the parks, and the gardens are full of assholes.
Sometimes, literally, have you seen those?
I was forced to take some jobs to do topiary. I've never done topiary before, and I don't believe I should ever do it again. They were not quite happy with the anatomical correctness of the topiary that I did.
There's this whole trend of peaches or something or other. I don't understand the rich people and their topiaries. Just grow an honest peach tree.
And the peacocks in the topiaries are bastards. Every single fucking one of them.
Oh, you went to the Riverside Parks? No, don't go there. Oh, it's pretty on a Sunday afternoon, but no, you don't be there after night. The peacocks are like they are mean. So a spirit goes running into Riverside. We almost let them go. And like, no, we have to. We're on the tacos. We have to go chase the thing. Okay, fine. But yeah, don't be troubling yourself with the tops. There's plenty of life elsewhere in the city, and plenty of money as well.
But none that would be asking for the services of a gardener.
A gardener, yes. A farmer, not so much.
Fair.
You'd do well maybe relying on your muscle.
That's what I have been doing. But there's only so much you can get without being part of a union.
Indeed. I might be able to help you with some of that, given that I am a full wolf and I know people who knows people. And you'll be surprised. There's an enormous community of wolf bloods all up in each other's business in the city. Mostly because there's only about a score of werewolves here at any given time, not counting visitors.
I've been avoiding the wolf bloods because the wolf bloods are usually accompanied by werewolves. But are there so few werewolves in the city?
Indeed. I mean, that's why you don't hear about more of them coming out here for opportunity, unless they're like me and were called to the city specifically because spirit stuff, or they're running off to become a pirate. I mean, if you want to be a pirate, I know some people.
I don't suppose I'd be happy going off planet. I'd prefer to stay here. My roots are here, and I would like to stay with them, as much as I did not like what the wolves did in the countryside.
No one with more than half a brain would like anything about wolf country. Believe you me. So, that reminds me. So, your ma wants me to tell you that if you want to find a mate in the city, I am bound by honor to help you find one. But only if you want one, because I think this is stupid. And I'm okay if you think it's stupid too. I just live your life, kid.
If I ever need your help finding a mate, I'll ask for the cash straight up. Beyond that, I believe I can take care of it myself.
See, I knew this would be a fun interlude. All right. So I guess you're one of the Dunes. Do you have a first name, boy?
I do.
But you're not sharing it with your dear sainted auntie? The city don't make saints of people. I'm going to tell you that now.
I know that. If it did, I wouldn't need money for the mate. But the full name for you, my dear sainted aunt, because you asked so nicely, is Grover Halsey Mall Dune.
So I'll be calling you Dune in public, I take it. Aye, all right. Well,
I don't know what my mum was thinking, my sainted mum, when she was naming me, but that's the name that ended up on the certificate in the system. I suspect a bet was involved.
I mean, this isn't the only reason that wolves get saddled with new names once they become wolves. So, around these parts, you'll hear me referred to as the Sentinel. Most people who think they know me haven't met me. Just telling you now. So,
I suspect if they had, they would not tell such stories of you.
they wouldn't have survived long enough to tell the stories. Anyway, but yes, the gauntlet here is quite high. So most werewolves do not feel welcome in the city because the spirit world is so far away.
And
Physically,
the city is so very welcoming, as you can see by my little bed sit here.
Oh, actually, their social programs are quite nice. I mean, the youth shelter wasn't so bad.
Aye, it was not so bad.
I mean, they weren't when I was here. It's
However,
quite
they kept stealing the stuff out of my pockets. I don't know if it was the shelter or if it was the other people in the shelter, but you couldn't leave a damn apple core in your pocket or it'd be gone by morning.
Yes, it can be a bit hand to mouth around here, but you know what? Meet me. There's a nightclub called Saga. I want you to find your way there and meet me there tomorrow night, and I'll see if I can get you some steady work that might get you into the union, and might get you some interesting contacts and side jobs, and keep you out of trouble or get you into it, whichever you prefer.
I'd be much obliged if you did.
But yeah, and I've said the thing about the mate finding, and
I did, and
I've performed the family honor blah blah stuff, and now we can get on with our actual lives.
Aye, to business.
So I'll see you tomorrow night, kid.
I will see you tomorrow.
Don't be late. Be there at around 10 p.m. That's where things start kicking up a right fun way. So see you tomorrow. And she just sort of, you thought you closed the window, but it's open again. And she just kind of whoosh out the window.
God damn it. I shut the window after her.
You're about 20 floors up.
She's a werewolf. If she fell that far, she could heal up very, very quickly. But somehow, I doubt she fell that far.
Don't all the werewolves, like, do parkour?
All the ones in the city, apparently.
Yeah.
And they say parkour before they do parkour.
So she clearly wasn't doing parkour.
Parkour.
But yeah, so there's a window, there's a 20-floor drop, but then there's like kind of a park in front of you, so there's no building for her to jump onto. You don't know where she went. Goodness, what a mystery.
If I was a betting man, I would bet she went straight up. This isn't the top floor. I couldn't afford a penthouse, not on my salary.
Yeah, a penthouse is 2 shipping containers.
Aye.
But they also get their own bathroom. All right. So, your dear sainted auntie, and from there, your auntie showed you the city, or, well, pointed you towards things to look at in the city. She's not really out of the shadows enough to be a tour guide, but she's a friend of the Saga, which is the lovely bar y'all went to and found companionship at last week before weirder than usual shit started. And yeah, that kind of started out your life in Eden's, and she has not bothered you about girlfriends, boyfriends, partners, whatevers since that night, because she left the same place you did, not for the exact same reasons, but she's like, God damn. You have no idea whether or not she has kids of her own.
It's not something that comes up very often, and I would not want to pry.
No.
It's not polite.
Especially not with Auntie Batman.
Aye.
All right, so one thing I think I forgot to mention at last stream. So one of the things about Space the Infinite Edge, or NWAD space, whatever you want to call it, there is no veil anymore. It's about 4100 something. In the 1700s, the Thurizaz tried to conquer the galaxy, who were godlike interdimensional aliens, also known as the True Fae. And after that war was fought, and changelings were kind of obviously a thing, of all things, like, they were checking up on medical supplies in the core and found a discrepancy in the blood banks. And I'm reading this, I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? All that work and it's the vampires that fucked up. So the core discovered vampires. And then the vampires, it says they eventually discovered everyone else, but I'm pretty sure the vampires just tried to sell everyone else out to save their skins. If you're not familiar with Requiem, it's a lot like Masquerade. If you're not familiar with either of them, it's a lot like the guys sitting at the table in the Blade movies are like, we are smart, hoity-toity vampires who do everything sneaky, and no one knows we run the world. The vampires control a significant less amount of the world now that is illegal to be a vampire in the core. Or universe rather than the world. But yeah, so after all the supernaturals were discovered in the 17 or 1800s, there was no official masquerade or veil or anything like that anymore. Some people keep their supernat status to themselves if they want to, but at least in the Eden system, there doesn't seem to be that much shame in being what you are during, day or night.
Though during our last session, we learned that there was a growing core sentiment. Somewhere in the city, there's someone fomenting up core sympathies, and as such, they are anti-supernatural.
As it turns out, since I didn't really figure out if downtimes were going to be a thing, but Petruchio, after all the weirdo protesters were taken in by the authorities, not quite arrested, but like, hey, let's take you in for like passive questioning and also a hospital because we're not sure what's going on. Most of the people in that group actually turned out, and with your contacts, it's pretty easy to tell a tourist. And most of those were tourists. You're not entirely sure who bankrolled a bunch of assholes coming in to yell at supernaturals, but based on the response of the locals, of the actual local residents and some of the other visitors, like, no one really took them seriously, so...
Mystery.
Someone needed to import some hatred because there wasn't enough homegrown.
Probably somebody looking for money.
Probably.
All of the angry people were definitely members of hate groups from around the galaxy, but they're not from here. So,
They're protesting local people, but they are not local protesters. Seems highly suspicious.
Sounds like none of their business.
Yeah.
So,
None of their goddamn business.
All right. So, we'll say it's been a week since that very odd incident. But now it's Monday morning, and y'all are back at work after a weekend, and then a week, and then another weekend. Because today, y'all are getting to work.
Only just now has Priceless hangover finally faded completely.
Yup.
It was a really hard night, guys. It was a really hard night. What was in that?
Mostly apples.
Apples?
Mostly.
I wouldn't think too hard on it.
Okay. So what's on the docket today?
Petruchio, you have received on a certain dark web account that you have set up for such things. Because Starnet is watched by the feds, but each system has its own basically, as long as it doesn't go through a Stygian gate, which is used to send information digitally and also travel, basically the travel between systems is usually very fast. Oh, I'm echoey. Okay.
I am innocent of all crimes of that echoing.
Okay. That's just my attention span is frayed at the best of times. All right, so there are back channels and ways. The Entertainments Union basically has its own website full of unlicensed entertainment, a lot of which is actually coded messages. And most of the coded messages are in fan fiction.
Lemon is code for more than just /fic now.
It's amazing. This venue is amazing. So, you log into one of your Yowie accounts and go looking through like your own, fan fiction, what come up on your fan fiction things to read. And you find an interesting /fic that turns out to be a coded message, like they mostly do. It is so there's a promise of they're willing to pay credits up front. They do not have a whole lot because this is a person in the core. However, she is not an elite person. She is more of a lower middle class. She describes herself as a computer technician in the core. Her office was starting to work on a new range of supernatural detectors. When her daughter came to visit her at work at the office after school, she set one of them off.
Ooh.
And she's done all the dark web searching she can, but can't figure out what kind of supernatural her daughter might be. All that her behavior has changed a little bit. Like, she seems to keep to herself more. She seems a bit spaced out and distant, but like, she hasn't murdered a bunch of people, or turned a city park into a jungle. She hasn't turned into a giant tiger. Like, she's like, I don't know. Like, this mom clearly doesn't know much about supernatural. It's just that her daughter set off a detector, and now it's like, we need to get her out. So, that is the case for today.
So basically, we need to get this kid out.
Is she here or is she back in the core world?
She is still back in the core worlds. Her mom is basically just keeping her in the house because she's not sure what other kind of supernat detectors she might set off. Like, again, like, they're lower middle class. She's not going to a fancy school, she's going to basically they're basically live in an inner city area. Well, I mean, some of these planets are mostly, if not entirely, city, but
Are we also getting the mom out?
the mom has the daughter is like just about 18, so she doesn't need she's 18, so she doesn't need an adult guardian to go with her, and her mom would rather stay behind to cover up tracks and tie up loose ends to make sure her daughter can get out,
Smart.
with fewer problems following her.
Smart.
But yeah, mostly she's just keeping her in their apartment, and she's not allowed to go outside, which she's kind of, like, she keeps to herself. She's really spaced out, and she like eats a lot of candy now. Like, she doesn't want to eat anything, and it's weird. Like, so behavioral changes. She was just a really smart kid that she figured would follow her steps as a computer tech or some similar. But she's just really acting strange. just distant and disconnected. And
Okay, so we are going to have to travel off-world for this one.
Oh joy.
I mean, it's not like we haven't gone and done pickup missions before, but this one will
Yeah.
be.
Okay, so Klaus, remember how you got out of your system?
Kinda.
That was also hooked up by this group. So only one of you can actually go into the core without being shot on sight. And even Dune might have some trouble given their genetic heritage. But you could also have her board a transport to come straight to Eden, or halfway point, or her mom has Petruchio. Do you tell her mom that Eden is okay for supernaturals, or what do you think you would suggest?
Oh yeah, I'm sure I have like a package of text I can just copy and paste, document how great Eden is for supernaturals. It's a paradise come to
The
earth.
welcome packet.
I would recommend sending her an unsolicited email to her own account about travel packages to all these wonderful village, I believe, worlds, and she can choose which one she wants her daughter to go to. She may wish for her daughter to come to the city, but either way, it would look less suspicious to send her spam like that than to send her an email about how wonderful the city is. We are, after all, a travel agency.
It's like encoded in travel.
I agree with that.
Do
you want me to draft that up?
Yeah, do it. Do you want to? Oh, let's make it a roll.
Yeah, let's make it a roll. Okay.
Let's say it's manipulation, persuasion,
Manipulation and persuasion.
which I think you're rolling 10 dice on.
I believe.
How
Wait, I rolled
awesome
10
is
dice?
spam? Or no,
I rolled 10 dice.
I'm not. Sorry, I forgot we were using Mind's Eye Theater rules rather than NWAD.
Not.
Derp.
Okay.
Yeah. So we are using a.
Got a 3. Okay.
Okay. How many dots do you have though?
So it's manipulation, which is 4, and where
That's
is the
7.
other one?
Social
Persuasion, which is
skills.
5. So it's 12.
Yeah, so that's 2 successes. So yeah, you craft some pretty nice. In fact, you've probably done this before. This is probably go-to spam for you. But it's like, yeah, this is part of your job. Is hey, come to Eden. You've recently edited it because your double millennial is coming up, and the mayor has recently said that there will be festivities next year, and it'll be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah.
Real party town.
I would send it to 50 other people at the same time, just to describe which one you're actually going to.
So
I'll send it to all our past clients.
There you go.
Easy.
Okay, so you send that out, and by the end of the workday, so this is Monday morning, so by Monday evening, you get a reply back from a Ms. Madison saying that she wants to send her daughter on a trip as part of her gap year. So she is, just to be clear, that she's, setting up all the paperwork so that, mom will pay for everything. So her, and they're lower class. So it's like, she may not get an opportunity to travel once she has to work for her daily survival is kind of the unspoken language. But yeah, so we're poor. I'm going to send my 18-year-old daughter on a really fun trip where she can see the galaxy. And Eden sounds like a really interesting place to go when you're a kid on a gap year.
All right.
So,
oh my god, best city when you're a kid on a gap year. Are you kidding me?
Okay, so it's very easy for you to just set up, a transport from the core. The earliest one that you can find sets out on Wednesday morning. However, it does make a stop at a place called Strugnoi Station, which is Strugnoi Station is an interesting system. It's a few stops away from you. So the way that the Stygian gates work, they work I'm going to say they work differently here than in the LARP setting, because y'all are trying to network with people in other states. Yay, tabletop. So Stygian gates are basically giant stargates, or if you know the jump gates from Babylon 5. Does anyone here other than me seen Babylon 5? Well, you should be sad.
We're what you might call bad nerds.
I have my 400 hours in Skyrim and I like it, and that is the only video gaming I do.
My cat is named Starbuck, okay? I have sci-fi cred. It's just not that one.
If you like space, if you like military and space drama, then you might like Babylon 5. Just keep in mind that season 1 is all first beats. So it seems very like camp, very low budget Star Trek, but then there are all these B plots and offline remarks that suddenly become super important in the second half of the second season, and then it gets really interesting. But it's so I'm just saying, like, we're all quarantined. If you can watch classic Doctor Who without falling asleep, you can watch Babylon 5 season 1.
I mean, we're all so busy right now.
So there are there are these kind of jump gates called Stygian gates. And if any of you happen to be a mage who knew a little bit of death magic, like, wow, the death magic on these is crazy. Like, people don't die in them. There's no like weird, it's just like, for some strange reason, they just radiate death sphere magic. And it's like, what? Oh my God. You can't go straight from gate to gate. Sometimes you have to go make a few stops before getting to your final destination. It depends on how the math works that day. No one's really sure if this is an actual design flaw, because humans didn't build these. They were here when y'all got here 4,000 years ago.
Oh, that never ends badly.
Yeah. So yeah, let's use this alien tech that we don't fully understand and feel super death magic-y. Yay.
What could possibly go wrong?
And basically,
nothing. I don't know what you're talking about.
One of the megacorps actually owns the IPs for all of these gates. And so first they just had the core ones open, so the core could travel back and forth. And then when they opened the expanse for settlement, that meant you all suddenly had the IP addresses of all of the gates known in the expanse. And then 50 years ago, they gave you all the codes for the expanse, for the Verge gates. So how convenient that, yeah. It's, yeah. Yes, Arcane. It's fine until it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, needless to say, guess how the Thurzas got into this dimension from wherever the hell they're from. Yep, they just stepped right out of a Stygian gate. Yay!
All these known addresses, and you get an unknown address. That's the worst part about Stygian gate, are the unknown addresses.
So it's unknown to the public whether the whole, like, beep, 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 the whole jumping around thing is part of the nature of the Stygian gates, or if that's just something the Megacorp does to make more money.
It's because the gates don't implement OSPF. That's really all there is to it.
Space!
They need to update the protocols.
Anyway, so yeah, you get an almost direct route. So this route goes from a core gate in their system to Strugnoi, which is also in the same sector. So not geographically all that far from you in the 3D map that is your galaxy. So brain, ow. And then from Strugnoi to your system. And Strugnoi is an interesting place. There are a few planets, none of them are really habitable. So it's mainly the habitation is the station itself, which is actually built around the Stygian gate, like a Christmas wreath. It's a very interesting system, and a lot of routes to your system get routed through there. So you're somewhat familiar with this process, and it
Is
should
it
be.
a core world?
No, it is an expanse world.
Aye. In that case, I suggest at least one of us be there to meet her.
I'll take that.
Okay. Be
Yeah.
at Strugnoi or be at
Strugnoi.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be her point of contact.
To us, most of us.
Well, actually, now that you look at the thing, it's actually it's all the same ship. It's just that they are also trying to get to. They're a commercial transport. They're part passenger and part cargo. Actually, with as far as you can tell, a legitimate business. Like you can roll to double check, but these aren't pirates. Maybe Klaus's trip. This is actually like a hoity-toity business, like a sub company of a megacorp kind of thing, and subcontractors.
Got to be careful with them, but usually not too much of a bastard unless you're trying to actually get money out of them.
But yeah, they're picking up a few passengers and cargo at Strugnoi while they're there, but there's not really enough. There's not really going to be more than an hour for passengers to walk around the station. Most, usually you might just tell someone just stay on the transport.
Yeah.
Aye.
So am I getting on the transport at Strugnoi, correct?
Yeah. They're getting on the transport in the core. I forget
none of us can go to the core.
Yeah,
no.
So yeah, so you can send a party to meet them at Strugnoi, or just wait for them to get to Eden.
Okay, Strugnoi is in the core.
No, it's in the Expanse.
Oh, then why
It's
don't I
the same
just
as
meet
you.
there?
There's not enough time.
Gotcha, okay.
Long enough for
Sorry.
to find them there. You'd be better off just trying to meet them here.
Okay.
Because we can't get to them in the core. She's got to get on the transport herself and get all the way here safely.
Okay.
Yeah, the mom actually sent you the girl's transcripts. Her name is Melissa Medicine. Because names are hard. So Mel is or Melly. They send you her transcript, and she's got almost straight A's, and has no criminal record, which is something that the Corps kind of wants to see before people try to leave the Corps for some strange reason.
Funny how that works. No, I was more worried about her recent changes to behavior and, as they say, because she got her spacey, as it were. I would not want for her to get off the transport at Strugnoi and forget to get back on. That is my largest concern for her. And also that others would get on at Strugnoi and attempt to harm her, which would be the only reason I'd suggest getting on at Strugnoi with her.
Okay. Well, yeah, you can send a team to Strugnoi Station, and y'all can do some business while you're there.
Aye. Renewing old acquaintances and perhaps making new ones.
Okay.
Though drinks would not be free, so we would have to pay for our own drinks.
Okay.
There is someone living on the station that your company subcontracts now and again. For some reason, they refuse to go to Eden System. You don't know why. It's this little old lady named Narissa Flax. That she does some computery business for you when you need a computers of 5 rather than a computers of 4. Petruchio, she's in your background. Don't worry about it. I forgot to send it to you until today because I'm bad at this. Okay. Anyway, so you know one person,
Oh yeah.
but she's like an almost 200-year-old little old lady. Like, surely she doesn't know all that much of the goings on the station.
A little old lady. I would expect her knowing a great deal, considering how much little old ladies have time to gossip.
Yeah.
In matter of fact, you could not keep anything from my grandmother. She would know before you even got home if you'd been drinking the scumble out of the stills in the backyard.
Well, your grandmother's an Athayer, so there's also that. The fact that some of them can actually look at your soul and read its secrets.
Aye.
Werewolves are scary. Anyway.
Werewolves are assholes.
All right.
Different.
So, so in the interest of not splitting the party, it looks like there's some stuff y'all could be doing on Strugnai. That would, you could do it this week. Write out some contracts with some of your freelancers that have to be done in person and notarized and all that bullshit. Check in on some contacts like Ms. Flax. And so y'all could make a business trip of it and have one of your backup people just run the office. Well, which you could really run remotely, since so much of this is digital anyway. It's rare that now that you do it, it's rare that for people to want to leave Eden for vacation. Usually they just go elsewhere on the planet.
It's a 50-mile city, and there's countryside still here. So you can get out of the city without having to leave the planet, which is not a thing you can say for most of the core planets, which is why so many of them take vacations outside of the core. However, I would say that we do insist that Petruchio have his own office, especially when he is reading the Yowies to try and find the coded messages.
You can deal with the coding.
I love that it's specifically Yowie.
That was the first thing I thought of.
Specifically,
I imagine
Yowie.
that on more than one occasion, Klaus has walked by when Petruchio's looking at that, and they just stop and go, So that's what it is today. Anything actually interesting going on there?
Well, I mean, if you really want the core feds to not look at your website, I mean, what's a better cover?
Anytime.
Yeah.
But we had to ban those users for being too weird, too hard to conceal things in. You didn't want to read that stuff, not more than once. Not with all the things that come through Stygian gates that are not people.
Yeah.
Okay,
places where the gauntlet is not so thick also might have such things as you would not wish to see.
Yeah, that's the weird thing. There are some people assume that, there's a high gauntlet because it's a city and not like a forest. But there are plenty of cities that have like an average or very thin gauntlet, and it doesn't seem to be the fault of the city or the urban environment, because
people in cities isn't always just them getting the hell out. Sometimes it's them falling through the veil for 7 years and a day.
Well, they don't do that here because the gauntlet is too thick.
No, not on Eden, but on other cities and other planets. It happens. It's a damn hard time investigating it too, without wolf blood or any other kind of spirits here.
Okay, so
not me though. I don't deal with that spirit world bullshit.
So one thing about your chartered company, y'all have a lot of shared resources that are linked on our little Discord, but you do not have a ship. So how are you?
We don't go off the planet that much.
How are you getting to Strugnai?
Well, I might know a fellow or 12.
Maya, if you get a break, do you want to come?
Well, I might know a fellow
Maya's mom be like that.
Anyway,
they're not the most savory of people, but my sainted aunt introduced me to them when she thought I might like to go off planet and have some time off planet. But no, I am not a person to go off planet without having a plan for coming back. And for what all you can say of these people, they don't always have a plan for coming back, especially if the heat's on.
Well, what do you guys do to get a ship? Do you rent one? Do you call a service? Do you
I'm
get
pretty
a
sure we just
freelancer?
let me just go get a service. I mean, we have plenty of business contacts.
I am thinking of. They do owe me a favor, but I don't know that to extend all for us.
You can always ask.
I mean, we can pay them. It's a tax write-off.
Fair.
This is a business trip. Don't
It's
you
a
feel all
completely
official about
legitimate
it?
business trip.
I mean, you have several what you might call spacers in your space Rolodex that freelancers that you
Yeah.
subcontract on occasion. So
Why don't we just call one of them?
yeah, so
Okay, I'm gonna call up one of them. I'm gonna just organize this trip right now. I got it, everyone. Okay. Yeah.
what's the name of this trusted freelancer?
This trusted freelancer is named Jennifer Colton. Yes, Jennifer Colton. That's a perfectly that's a name that I totally knew this whole time and didn't just make up on the spot. Yep, that's who we're going with.
I completely believe you.
Jennifer's in space.
Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna call up Jennifer and be like, "Hey, so we've got a job. I don't know if you're free, but we need to get to Strugnoy Station and back on Wednesday."
Well, I would suspect we would take the transport back with the lady.
You are correct.
So we just need to get there.
We just need to get to Strugnoy because there will be a ship there. These are details that I know because I pay attention.
It's quarantine brain.
Yeah.
Quarantine brain is real, y'all. Okay, yeah. We just a one-way trip, just, quick business trip. We got
tax deductible.
Yeah, I'm seeing right here we've got the funds all budgeted out. Is that something you can do?
Let's see if it's something they can do. Okay. All right. So they could take a side contract to Strugnoy for the day. However, let's say on a scale of 1 to 5, their rate, while usually a 1 is now a 2. Out of 5, like what's on your shared resources sheet, where you have 5 dots of resources. So she can do Wednesday, and she can work that out with her other ongoing contracts, because it's kind of short notice.
Totally
but so it'll
understandable.
It'll be a little bit more expensive.
That sounds great. I mean, we use you all the time. I'd rather pay a little more to get someone that we know and someone
on the right side of the law.
Yeah. I'd love that. I think that's I think this is better. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll absolutely pay more.
Her company name is Genco Shipping.
Fair.
With a J. Because space. Okay.
I mean, her name is Jennifer. I would be surprised if she spelled the Genco with a G.
So yeah, so that's her little sub company, and so she's one of your regular go-tos for, this is a pretty chill expedition, barely an expedition. You're going like a stop away from home. You're going from like
highest place.
Very routine.
She also, knows not to ask questions.
Not too many, anyway. I mean, presumably she wants to ask the question of where the hell we're going and how the hell am I getting paid. But beyond that, questions about why or how or what is beyond her ken, and not, strictly speaking, her business.
And it is her policy to ask for full payment up front, just because it's easier for everyone.
Oh, absolutely, of course.
Jen is fine. It's like, oh, sure. And pick up do you tell her anything about the situation of what or you just say, we just need a trip to Strugnoi and then we'll get out on another ship?
We tell her it's a business trip. That means that it is tax deductible, both for us and for
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all she needs to know. And that it is not illegal.
Perfectly above
Would
board.
we tell her even if it were, though?
If we were doing illegal things, we would be using my contacts and not Priceley's.
True.
Okay.
Might be using mine, but
Maybe.
So yeah, she's transporting some produce from Eden to Strugnoi since they don't have farmland anywhere in their system. She's like, yeah, I can pick it. She's picking up some stuff, and yeah, it's a little bit more expensive because it's last minute, but yeah. So
yeah.
Oh, that's perfect. Go with my good friend Jen.
you
We're
drink
all buds.
mimosas in the pilot seat.
Oh yeah, obviously.
Because air day is brunch day in space.
Meanwhile, class in the back doing hard drugs off the seats.
yeah, don't question it.
Just hanging out with my good friend Jen up front, just sipping mimosas.
So yeah, y'all have been through a Stygian gate before, so yeah, Wednesday morning, do you all get on time to the shipyards? She's in the one that's like the bigger one in Steeltown, rather than the one that's right close by you in the Old Town Seaport, Old Town Spaceport. So yeah.
I let my aunt know that I will not be in town for a few days, but I get there on time.
You get the Spirit text message equivalent of and yeah, so just
there you go.
Yeah, I show up on time. I'm a professional.
Yay! Is everyone being professional?
We should all be on time.
Okay. So yeah,
I'm gonna come in like 5 minutes late with a coffee and be like, sorry. And say nothing more about it.
Typical Klaus.
Of course.
So
you're on time.
All right. So
you on time?
Me?
You, yeah.
Well, they tried.
Early.
There you go. Petruchio is the only one who's early. That makes sense. Given that Petruchio is in fact the head of this entire not convent, what's the word?
Operation? Convoy?
That's the word.
It's the convent. Just a group of nuns, nothing to see here.
Space nuns. We're nuns.
Sorry,
We're nuns in space.
I see
We are
all
but a
the rest of
traveling
it out of my head.
convent.
And I'm just like, dang it. I forgot.
So yeah, Petruchio, you get to the ship early. She's already got all her produce and yeah, just like kind of a vanilla human. Just like, hey, nice to see you again, Mixed Petruchio. And yeah, when the rest of your team gets here, we'll just head off to Strugnoi. Yeah, I've already got all my cargo loaded for the trip over there. So it's not difficult to get orders for produce since they don't have farms. So yeah, just make yourself comfortable.
Petruchio, on time with my hands in my pockets, and I to the shipmaster.
Yeah.
Petruchio, would you like to make a wits investigation roll? For no reason at all.
No reason at all. Okay. This is 3 investigations, 1, so that's 7 plus 4 is 11.
Nice.
So you have to walk through the cargo hold to get to like the passenger seat area. It's basically like, think of the spaceship as a really big truck, a really big why am I forgetting the name of this truck that does all the commercial shipping? Anyway.
Semi?
Peterbilt?
Oh, semi.
Semi?
A semi, yeah. It's like a really big semi, but the front car also has like a little back area for like up to 6 passengers. And then there's, the pilot seat in front, kind of like, a minivan at the front of a commercial truck. So you're walking through the cargo hold, and there isn't that much stuff in here. Like, there's crates of fruit and produce, and everything's been like stamped by customs and cleared health-wise and all that. But there's not a lot of it. Like, it's maybe half the size of what you would have expected from a trip like that, as someone in the conservators union who just knows all the things. Like, yeah, that's not a lot of produce. That's weird. Do you investigate it any further, or just sort of accept that this looks weird?
It's weird. I might, like, during the flight, like, ask how business has been, like, because, like, if they just unloaded a large supply, or if they're just, like, not in high demand, then it's not much to worry about then, right?
Jen's like, oh no, it's just a small order. Yeah, business is fine.
Don't think there's much to suspect here, right?
Can I make a wits investigation roll to
Yeah.
sniff something out with my wolf nose?
Sure.
Do I have any investigation? Like,
So that's
it would be under skills mental.
6 for wits investigation. So I get 12, 2 successes.
Okay. I'll also have you make a wits occult roll.
All right.
So yeah, you do think you smell produce.
Okay. And that's 8 and 6 for 3 successes.
So
I think I know what's happening
at
here.
first you're like, okay, yeah, you smell produce, and it just smells like fruit, and then it's like, but no, it also smells like the weird fruit.
Goblin fruit.
I'm
Don't eat it. It tastes like deodorant.
However, the stuff in this crates here is normal fruit.
So I'm smelling goblin fruit.
So it's
But-
likely that there might be a compartment you can't see
Well,
with the rest of the shipment.
it's not. It's not my first time working with smugglers, and I don't particularly care about goblin fruit. Not my circus. Not my monkeys.
Yep. So y'all
As long as
board.
don't get us all arrested. I don't care.
yeah.
Yeah. So when class is a few minutes late, Jen doesn't seem too bothered. She's like, "All right, is this all of you today?"
Yeah. I think this is all of us.
I.
We're ready to go?
Yeah. Yep. I'm ready when you are. And I'm just gonna say y'all get up to the Stygian gate. And then she's, it's a few minutes to lift off, then a few minutes to get to the Stygian gate, and then the equivalent of like taxiing up to the Stygian gate. And a few other transports are heading for Strognoi today. And you go through. So going through, I would say everyone needs to give me a... I don't have to make you roll for it. You all feel really fucking uncomfortable going through the Stygian gate, except maybe for Klaus because reasons. Because, oh my god, this is not pleasant.
And this is why I don't want to go off world. the pirates
It-
can keep
It
themselves
feels
to
like
themselves.
you're in a graveyard on steroids, and not like a fun graveyard, not a peaceful one. Just something feels wrong.
That's sort of taking
My
a
aunt?
turn and everything.
My aunt would not enjoy
not-
this. Don't believe.
Your wolfy senses are freaking out. Your changeling senses are freaking out.
Jen,
Vampire,
you-
Shirkio, you kind of just you feel like something is telling you to stay. Luckily, you're strapped in with the seatbelts. Well, you can't you're in a spaceship. You do not feel it so strongly that you have to open an airlock and go meet it, but it's like, stay.
Siren call.
Yeah, a weird kind of like a weak siren call. And Klaus, you're fine.
I'm just gonna like sit back, take another sip of my coffee, look around, and everyone be like,
I might throw up on you.
Klaus, you actively hear the
don't feel good
screaming of the dead. The screaming of the unquiet dead, but you're like, whatever.
this is par for the course. Let's be honest. Please do not throw up on me.
So it's about a half hour of that before you get to exit the gates into Strugnoi Station, or out of Strugnoi Station.
And we'll have to do it again on the way back. This is why I hate business trips.
Yep. It is uncomfortable. Also, Pricely, you will have to keep track of your goblin fruit now, because you are no longer in a place where you can just pick it up off the street.
Oh,
So,
you are correct. I'm gonna say that I had a big old snack before I went on this
Yep.
trip.
and
Yep.
you have some in your backpack. Yeah. No
Yeah.
problem. So yeah, and you land without incident on Strugnoi Station, and Jen, parks, and is like, well, it's nice to see you all. I guess give me a call if you need anything while you're here, but I'm just going to be hanging out probably at one of the bars until the shipment that I'm going to take back to Eden.
That's great. Thank you so much for the short notice.
We
It's
appreciate
cool.
you. We appreciate
Thanks for not abandoning me.
Oh, yeah, it's fine.
I would like to find the nearest bar and go have a drink or 12.
So the space dock, the space dock where she's parked is the bad side of town, which is basically a donut.
We're in the bad
So the-
side by then.
You're on the bad side. You're the bad quadrant.
Hmm.
The vice
Uh,
quadrant.
There are plenty of bars, though.
That's the
So-
advantage of being in the vice quadrant.
So what is this bad? What is this bad side bar called?
Oh, it's the drunken spaceman. At least the one we find.
Yes!
It's half full of fucking hippies who want to try to walk on the bad side of town, but
Perfect.
for a cheap drink.
More rich kids pretending they're slumming it because it's just gentrification even here.
Oh my god.
The
Yeah.
bar figured out he could make a buck off the stupid kids, so it started catering to them. But it's the nearest one to the shipyards for that particular reason, and it's got vodka for 2 credits a bottle. So that's where I'm headed, and that's what I'm having.
Also, good music.
Surprisingly good music.
At least the music is good.
Not some shitty techno remix shite.
No, it's the good techno remix.
I used to produce this music. But I'm not here for the music or for the shite kids. I'm here for the booze.
But the shite kids are here for the good music.
Mhm.
So at least there's that.
Are
All
the
right.
shite kids here for any drugs? Can I make a buck to like selling things out of my pockets?
I wonder if this is the disco family.
Yes, we're Klaus, I would like you to roll for that.
Okay. What am I rolling?
That would be, let's say, wits street, either streetwise or socialize, whichever is higher.
Okay. I'm struggling to find either of the second
So that's
there
under
are.
social skills.
lower on the page. We're gonna do streetwise then, because I have 4 in that and 5 in wits. And I rolled a 10. So that's a lot. That's a 19?
Not
Okay.
quite 4 raises. I think it's like You know, it's 4 to 17, 5 to 20, so it's four successes.
It's awesome. You find what you're pretty sure is a bachelorette party.
Oh, hell yes. That's perfect. They're here for fun.
And they're definitely still rich prats, and they're looking to try new and interesting things while they're here.
A bunch of damn.
Yay! It's not strictly an all female gendered party, but it's definitely a bride person is a female presenting person is the bride, and they're all wearing stupid hats and have weird party favors in the middle of this like blues bar.
Nice.
I head over to the bar. I order a bottle.
The bartender looks at you as almost like, oh, thank God, a real person is here,
Straight out the gate.
and just plunks it in front of you, no questions asked. Just like goes back to cleaning glasses. So
I
Klaus,
drank half of it without even, flinching.
so Klaus, how do you approach the table of woo girls? Woo!
It's going to be something to the effect of, hey, congratulations, notice you're celebrating here, and, strike up a conversation with them before mentioning that I have something fun.
Yeah, they're all like, these are all prissy little elite brats, or, old enough to get married, but, pretty, yeah, isn't it so exciting outside of our ivory towers? And yeah, they're from like all sorts of systems. At least 2 of them are from the core, and it's like the bride is a resident of Strugnoi, and her family makes its money by also tourism. But see, there's a planet in this system that is it's habitable. It's just that it's covered in enormous reptilian monsters. So they sell an excursion package where they basically send rich people to this wildlife preserve that isn't really being preserved, and it's kill or be killed. But with your big comfy luxury mega jeep. So it's kind of like
guns.
So like turning like the kind of theme park Jurassic World should have been by the name.
Oh yeah, totally.
And
So not put on the takas. I don't know what isn't.
They have some werewolves on staff, and we pay them fairly.
You can't call them werewolves anymore. That's not a hunt. That's a slaughter.
Well, elites can't be werewolves. Didn't you know? Because it just can't. It's just not allowed. There are no supernatural elites. There is no war embossing say.
Aye.
Yes. So yeah. So what? So they're really like, oh really? What have you got? You're not sure they've done hard drugs in their life. So what would Klaus give this party?
Probably something that's not too terribly strong, because they will not be able to handle it, and I don't want to have a bunch of passed out party kids on the ground in this establishment, because then the poor people who work here have to deal with that. But
but what is the effect? Like what, stimulant, depressants, psychotropic?
It's definitely some sort of stimulant. Everything gets a little more funny for them.
So
they get a little more obnoxious singing along to the good music, a little louder when they laugh at things. Sometimes you can't even tell what they're laughing at, but they sure are having a good time.
So like Molly, or like pot with
caffeine
and a caffeine chaser.
Probably caffeine.
Okay. Yeah, they get real giggly real fast.
That's amazing.
I take a shot every time I hear them giggle.
It's constant.
Oh my God.
You're going to get drunk.
It is constant. All right. Well, it's 8:37. So, usually, do we want to take a 5-minute break right now, or do you want to keep gaming? Okay. and then I can check on my overheated compy. So all right,
Poor computer.
my poor computer.
Yay.
Because I forgot to put some paper towels under the veggies, so I should go do that.
Oh no!
But
Okay,
chat, I'm gonna be
run real
here.
quick.
Okay, so all right, so guys, we're on friends. We're on 5-minute break, so I will still be here. Chat in just a sec. I just have to get some paper towels. So good evening, chat. So I actually tried to start this stream from my tablet because that doesn't have an overheating problem. Unfortunately, StreamYards does not allow the host of the stream to be on a tablet. It has to be hosted from a desktop or laptop. And wow, that's, oh, this is such a mess. Oh, so messy. So yeah, oh, we have 10 viewers, which I think we had like 8 last time. So yay, y'all told your friends. So yeah, I am looking at chat from my window. Does anyone have any questions? Hello, Lister. And I saw Arcane in there earlier. Ghost of Frost. Brigadoon. They step right out of a Stygian gate. It depends. Did I assume the Thurs step out of a Stygian gate? It depends on who's telling the story. Some say they came in great, amazing ships. Others say, yeah, they walked right out. As if one can simply walk out of a Stygian gate as easily as they can walk into Mordor. They're not a commercial transport. Yeah. Because this is space! And Vampiric Yoda, hello. Yeah, I'm also here talking to chat because if I take a break, I will inevitably pick up my Switch Lite, which I got yesterday, and then I will be lost for the rest of the evening. Yeah, so my birthday was on Tuesday. Hi, Hurricane. An interesting birthday present this year, Gen Con was canceled, which I'm okay with because there would have been severe problems if it had gone forward, and most of the people I wanted to see there weren't going at this point anyway. So, just save it for next year. Then my brain said, wait, you could actually buy a Switch Lite and start playing or join the Animal Crossing cult that all of your friends are in. And I'm like, but my computer keeps having meltdowns. So having another gizmo in the house with which to entertain myself that is not my computer, it makes sense. So thanks, Mulk Maven. Thanks, Justin. Yeah, I had a nice birthday. I watched seasons 4 and 5 of She-Ra. Without giving away any spoilers, the conclusion of the final battle happened at 7 o'clock, which gave an eerie, a very fun, eerie sense, but also because we have in Queens the 7 o'clock scream, where all the people are yelling and drumming and making noises on their balconies in my neighborhood. Little urban concrete balconies. our high-rise buildings. And my building complex is kind of shaped like a henge, so it all echoes and sounds like a lot more people than it is. And that happened at like the concluding scene of She-Ra's season 5, and I'm like, oh, this feels good. So
All I know is that Katra isn't a queer-coded villain. She's just a queer villain. That's all I've heard, and that's all I want to hear.
She's pretty fun. There are definitely moments when even the audience is like, why are you like this? And outright people actually ask her, why are you like this? But to be frank, She-Ra is also a queer-coded hero. Or just a queer hero. So
they're all gay, and this is fine.
And Bo actually has 2 dads, and they're adorable.
I have heard this. I will eventually watch it, but I think I need to finish Avatar: The Last Airbender first.
Oh, this is your first time watching it?
I never watched it as a kid, so
it's so
here we are.
I'm in the same boat.
All of my friends have been bothering me to watch it for literal years, and now I have access, so I will watch it.
Yeah, it hasn't been on streaming for a while, and I have seasons 2 and 3 on DVD, but not season 1. So rewatching season 1 has been interesting. Like, oh, that's when that character showed up.
One of my friends was going to bring it back to school after spring break on DVD, and then we didn't, get back to school after spring break, so I guess it's good that it's on streaming now.
Yeah. I started watching it because all my friends were complaining about how much the movie was going to suck, so I'm like, oh, I'm going to try watching this. And I'm like, that I joined them, and yeah, this movie's going to suck. Arcade Sage in the chat actually went to go see the movie because he didn't want to say he never gave it a chance, but he effectively took one for the team on that. And the most damning...
A brave soul.
Yeah. The first damning part of his review was that, like, so no one in the movie laughs. And I'm like, then that's not Avatar.
I've only seen 3 episodes thus far, but keeping a light humor seems to be like a thing.
Yeah. He also had opinions because he's seen a lot of the actors that they brought in from Asian cinema. He already knew from those movies because he follows a lot of international film, and he feels that Uncle Iroh and the Fire Lord, the actors were playing they should have switched those actors.
Oh.
And so, like, they had the wrong guy playing each, Iroh, General Iroh and the Fire Lord, and it's like, oh, ouch. But then if no one laughs anyway, I can see why, because Uncle Iroh not being funny.
I've never seen the TV show, but I did see the movie. I don't remember anything from the movie. It all went out one ear. Like, I remember more from Aragon than I do from that movie, and Aragon sucked.
The movie
Nova Kid
sucked.
Aragon the movie sucked. Aragon the book series was meant to be 3 ended up being 4, and I haven't read the last one all the way through yet. So,
but I will not say anything. But yeah, the only thing they got right in the Aragon movie was Durza.
Yeah, no, I remember that much. But
yeah, it's the only thing they got right.
Nova Kid, great moment to join. Can I smell her? Yep.
Sorry, Emily.
It was only just my question. Just trying to smell for the supernatural on her or something.
She should expect nothing less of any roleplay group that I am participating in.
We're relatively tame.
Yeah, no.
Apples.
We haven't pulled an entire ship out of a pocket metaverse yet. We're fine.
What?
I said we haven't pulled an entire capital ship out of a pocket universe yet. We're fine.
Okay.
Vis-a-vis doing weird shit on stream.
Oh.
Arcane's like, that movie was my Gom Jabbar. I was like, yes. You are truly human. You are more human than the rest of us. Yeah. Okay. Dune quotes. Yep.
Interesting.
Dune, Babylon 5, all
Because Dune's actor has never read Dune.
Who? What? Say that again?
I said Dune does not quote Dune because Dune's actor has never read Dune.
It's interesting.
I tried reading it in college, and I don't know, I guess like something came up and I never finished it. I wanted to, but I
tried
didn't.
watching the movie and had no idea what was going on the entire time.
Yeah. What's funny is I found out that the first Dune movie would have been a Salvador Dali project, and I'm like, so it could have gotten weirder than the Lynch movie. Okay. I do love
Lynch.
I do love the Lynch movie, though. It is ridiculous.
I've seen the Salvador Dali short film, the animated one with the dancer.
Oh, I didn't even. Is this Dune related or just Salvador Dali's
Salvador Dali.
thing?
Salvador Dali.
I haven't seen that one.
I love Dali.
I've seen it. Find you a link to it.
It's
Listen,
really awesome.
You definitely need to read those books because Douglas Adams specified that for every adaptation that was ever made of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, it had to be different from the one before it. That's why the movie's different from the TV show, which is different from the books, which is different from the radio play, which is different from the second illustrated set of books.
Ah,
The
Like,
radio
it's exactly
play.
by design.
The radio play was the original version. It was originally a radio play.
I don't know.
no shit.
I have it. I have
Which is-
Oh, sorry,
I have
my
it.
not supposed to say naughty words.
Which is why there are bits in the book that aren't funny enough if you're just reading it. If you're hearing it, it's even funnier.
yeah, no.
I had it
the
linked
radio
because
play,
Pac sent me a link a while back, and now the link is not. It doesn't work anymore, and this is very sad.
I have the answer
This item
tattooed
is no
on me.
longer available.
Oh,
I was gonna send it to chat, but now I cannot.
no! I hate when that happens.
I'm sure it's still out there somewhere.
Paximo follows us. Pax, if you're out there, throw us a new link.
Please.
I mean, if it isn't something heinously bootlegged, because I don't want you to get in trouble, Pax.
For what?
You're too pure for this world.
A link to
I
what?
mean, like,
I don't- whatever-
The
Get a copy
Hitchhiker's
of this.
Guide
Right, okay.
radio play. She linked it a while back when I first joined the Zoe server, and I listened to it, and I saved the link on my computer. But when I click on the link, it says this item is no longer available.
Oh, I should actually be active on that server. I'm bad at those things.
You don't have to be super active, just like, hey guys, we're a player down. Answer me. Like, guys, game is this time tomorrow. All right. Like, it's not a fan Discord yet. Maybe someday it will be, but for now it's just for organizing our
That's
stuff.
what I figured. That's what I mean.
So yeah, check it a couple times a week. And maybe twice on Saturday. So, all right, are we ready to resume gaming?
I'm ready.
All right.
Yeah.
Dune is now lightly oiled and ready to get out of this fucking bar with those woo girls.
Oh
I'm
my
sorry, I
God.
made it worse. I'm not
Lightly
actually
oiled.
sorry. I made some extra cash.
Okay. I'll say you made the equivalent of an extra dot of resources for today.
Cool.
I mean, he's lightly buzzed. That's yeah.
Wait, so Dune's been drinking vodka by the bottle?
Vodka. It might have been vodka, it might have been whiskey, depending on whatever the bartender handed him.
Yeah, I need you to make a survival roll for that.
All right. It was just one bottle. He only went through one gate, so went through one bottle. So let's see.
So stamina, survival.
Stamina, survival. Okay. All right.
Let's stir this. There is some
I
leverage
roll-
inspiration
Roll a
here.
7 plus 5 is 12 for 3
All right.
seconds.
Yeah, you're buzzed, but you're not taking penalties.
No.
So is there anything anyone else is doing? There's a couple hours before the transport comes in that you're waiting for. So Presley, Petruchio, are y'all getting into any hijinks while you're in space Boston?
Hijinks.
I'm
I'm
trying
just
to
like-
think what we should. I don't know exactly what there is to
I'm
do.
perfectly fine to loiter menacingly in a corner.
Of the
I should have
same
gone to the
bar,
bar. I assumed I was at the bar with everyone else.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
there's a bachelorette party.
And I mean, there's
And
much
drinking.
from the bachelor party long, so he's only there long enough to drink his entire bottle.
Woo! They're
He's
giggling
out.
so loud.
I'm
So
probably gonna
much
get
giggling.
a drink. Not a glowing drink, but maybe like a Bloody Mary.
Okay, he knows.
A nice
Yes,
sensible
Sebastian.
drink.
It's sensible. An austere drink.
Yeah.
A grown-up drink
A grown-up drink.
that
yeah.
has a vegetable in it.
Yes.
So you get
That makes
something-
it good for you.
You get something that definitely looks and tastes like a Bloody Mary, whether or not it's actual tomatoes in the tomato juice. Who knows? It's space.
Meh.
Something
It
tomato.
tastes close enough. That's fine.
The celery stalk it's just a stalk with no leaves, but it doesn't look like it just looks like that's how it grows here or somewhere. Because there are no farms and there's no farming in this system. It's weird.
Okay, fair enough.
They import everything.
Okay.
Once he said that, Duan's gonna go get out of this damn hippie bar, and go looking for the local wolf blood hangout. You know, something with a name like Luna's Drift or something like that. If there's one thing you could say for werewolves and wolf bloods, it's that they're terribly predictable with their names.
You can't find one that's really got an obvious wolfy name on it. Like, so you're used to the community. So the whole, Valar Morghulis thing is very much an Eden system thing. But yeah, like, usually if there are werewolves afoot, you can tell where they are. But, like, they're not being obvious here.
Looks like somebody finally grew a brain. I will wits investigation for one then.
Sure.
Or maybe do listener's suggestion of checking lampposts and fire hydrants. They're subtle, but not that subtle.
You're basically inside. There are no fire hydrants inside a space station. There's lots of There's obviously a sprinkler system. What did you roll?
7 plus 6 is 13 for
Okay.
3 successes.
3
Almost
successes. So you do remember that you couldn't not hear because they were so fucking loud. The bachelorette party talking about how werewolves work for their company, and so maybe live on that one planet where there are giant monsters.
Then that's the way where the werewolf bar is then, which will explain why there isn't one here.
So there are,
this damn station before the job's done, so I'll just find the local weird hangout, as it were.
Okay. With 3, you said 3 successes? Yeah, you can find you kind of follow your, not necessarily sense of smell, but by body language and stuff, you can tell, like, on the bad side of town, there is a Supernat friendly bar. Because the Expanse, this is more of closer to a proper Expanse system where supernaturals are not exactly beloved. They're not actively being persecuted or outlawed yet, but this is you're in a space station. It's very high tech, lots of humans, miners, or miners with an E, so people who mine things, spacers, pirates, merchants,
Smugglers.
Yeah, there's maybe some EDF goons around, but they don't seem to be here in full force. EDF being the core military, or the core run military, and their own security as well. But yeah, you do find a Supernat bar that is a bit more hidden away.
All right. Then I'll go in and start making friends there. And
All right.
if my comrades wish to follow, that's their job. But I'm not staying with the damn Wool Girls any longer than I have to.
Hashtag metaverse.
I was there to get a little steadier after the damn trip, but I'm not going to stay there if there are Wool Girls there.
You needed to drink so you'd have enough stamina to find a better bar.
I would love to talk to the Woo girls.
Hey!
Oh my god, congratulations!
I'm getting married to a platinum magnet. Yay!
Oh my god, that's amazing! Congrats!
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. When's the big day?
It's in like 2 weeks, but I just had to get everyone together, and we're just having like a week-long party, and it's gonna be great. It's already
Oh my
great.
god, that's amazing! That's fantastic. Where's your honeymoon?
We don't know it. He's gonna surprise me.
Oh my god. That's fantastic.
Like, the bat was less annoying than that was.
Where do you want
the bat
wait?
had hypersonic noise makers on it.
It's not as hypersonically painful as the bat, but it is louder.
Okay, I'm just gonna like casually mention that like I'm a travel agent.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah.
Can I have a card?
Huh?
Can I get your card?
Yeah, absolutely. Here you go. And I'm gonna hand her my card. I'm gonna drum up some business for a very legitimate business because we need that.
Yep.
And that's
You're not wrong. Yep.
Yeah.
We can't get all our jobs through sites.
Yeah.
80% of your business does not get to you through slash fiction, I promise. But
Yeah.
the interesting ones do, obviously.
You know, so my name is Fen. I've got a really, honestly, ask for me when you call. I've got some really great packages on the line, and like y'all seem like so much fun. I want to make sure that you get like the best trip that you can possibly get. Like,
oh my god, thank you!
Yeah, have the lucky guy call me.
Oh my god, yes!
I'll give you the hookup. Yes. Oh my god. Okay, you guys have a wonderful night. Here's a round of drinks on me. Yay! Okay, I hope to hear from you soon.
Klaus, are you still there? Because you're starting to prefer the bat.
I'm
Eventually,
as discussing all of these and like engaging them in conversation, I'm going to take the opportunity to sort of like disengage and float away and just disappear into the rest of the world.
Homer Simpson back into the crowd.
Especially because I do have some judgment, and I think that it's probably not a great idea to associate your drug dealer with your travel agent.
Except that that's kind of her job. Not all drugs are illegal now.
Oh no, I'm just saying, like, in this sort of situation where she's trying to drum up business, it doesn't seem like a great idea to like put together right then that the two of us are maybe associated.
You know, okay.
Just because what I gave them is technically legal doesn't mean that everything I carry is technically legal.
True.
What you carry is
Oh, you gave them something that was technically legal. Oh, that's nice.
Technically.
And yet did you charge them the illegal price?
Probably. They're a bachelorette party. I'm not going to leave them passed out on the floor, but like...
They're a bachelorette party getting married to a rich dude. So like...
Yeah. Yes, I will take their money.
They're both rich. It's elite nonsense.
Yeah, but...
Yeah, no.
If you've got enough money to bring in friends from off-world, you have enough money to pay the illegal price for illegal drugs.
Oh yeah,
pay the black market price.
No, I want to get that rich girl money.
Oh yeah,
I'm getting some clients. I will be up 30%.
That's why you're here, Priceley. That's why you're here.
Yeah.
Woohoo! Okay, I'm so tired of doing those voices. All right, so
okay.
All right, Dune, are you you want to roll socialize?
Oh,
Let's
God.
say presence or manipulation, whichever is higher on your socialize. To see if you make any friends in the supernatural bar.
I would like to tap Merritt's allies werewolves and Merritt's allies wolfbloods to add some points to this.
Yes,
It's
yes,
going to
you
go
may.
badly. It's gonna go really badly if I don't.
Yay!
Oh, I rolled a 9 plus 2 minus 1 plus 2 is plus 3 overall. So we're 12 and 2 successes. No.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 successes.
All right. You managed to find a werewolf. So what? We'll say so. This is. We'll say this bar is just called like Bob's Bar. Like it doesn't really have a name. It is. You're kind of in a speakeasy.
The tavern.
The
tavern.
The tavern.
It's just a tavern. Because there's one thing about Supernaturals is also we're traditionalist fucks.
Depends on the supernatural, but yeah,
Fair.
a lot are. Werewolves certainly like their traditions, so you find this kind of raggedy, kind of ex-marine looking dude, and he's like, so how do you approach the person you are very sure is a werewolf?
Well, if he's at the bar, and I assume he's at the bar because he's by himself, and this is the tavern, I'll go up and I'll sit beside him, and I will order a drink, and I will offer to do the same for him, should he so choose.
Do you want something from me? Do you, it's been a long day. Like, what do you want?
I'm from out of town, and I'm just trying to make some local friends, as it were.
Kind of sniffs at he very. I mean, you already knew he was a werewolf, but he sniffs you and he's like, "Oh, you're wolf blood. All right, yeah, cool, man. Oh, so you're not from this station?
No, I am from Eden System. My scented aunt leads the pack in the Eden City.
I didn't even know there were werewolves there. Like,
There
it's
are
like
not many.
really
but there are
weird.
few. They take care of what little makes through the gauntlet in the city. There are lots more packs in the countryside because the gauntlet is not so thick there. But for what does get through in the city, my sainted aunt takes care of it.
Yeah, if you're looking for other werewolves, like most of them are on the it doesn't. I don't remember his real name. We all just call it the Beast Planet. Because, like, if you've been there, you'd know.
Aye. A land full of dragons, as it were, as I heard.
They live there, like, on their own accord, but they make some extra credits on the side and get some extra resources by, like, playing nice with these elite assholes who like to go down and pretend they know how to hunt big game.
Aye. Udun Ep2 is not on them, as it were.
Nah, I mean, it's the Kaiban, so they're, like, dangerous to supernaturals, but they're just also just assholes, and they're the worst.
No, I'm just here to make some friends on the station, as it were, in case of future need, for I work for a travel agency. One of those travel agencies, if you know.
So, not shipping elite assholes onto Beast Planet?
No. Shipping them out of the core world as don't belong in the core worlds no more.
Oh.
When they ask for it.
Cool. Who are you?
I'm Dune. And my sainted aunt is the Sentinel.
Okay, I don't know what that means.
Aye.
I go by Mack Truck.
Hmm?
I go by Mack Truck.
Aye. Nice to meet you, Mac.
Yeah. So, yeah, I come to this station a lot because I'm a local merchant.
Than your buddies are.
Yeah. So, like, I know the people down on the planet, but they don't come up here much. Sometimes I ship stuff to them when I'm in town, but mostly I'm a spacer.
Aye.
So, yeah, I'll come check out Eden. Like, I've passed through there, but it's just that city feels so fucking weird that, like...
And the fruit that grows naturally, yes, the damn changelands, it's on every street corner. It's on
Yeah, so, some other wolf told me, like, not to eat the fruit there, and they're like, changeling bullshit, and I'm like, okay.
It's nightmares, the kind you don't like.
Yeah, it was weird.
Aye.
So I'm like, I just stayed on I basically just stayed in like the shipyard, and until it was time to leave, and we were only there like a day, but it was.
I will say, though, that if you don't like the assholes on the planet of the dragons, then you probably won't like the assholes in the countryside of Eden. But the ones in the city aren't too big of an assholes, or if they are, they're at least not big assholes to me, which is what I counted for. If you mention my name, they'll not be assholes to you.
Alright. I mean, being an asshole is just kind of werewolf way of life. I mean,
Fair.
you know, you're a wolf blood. I mean, you've been punched in the face as a way of saying hello. Like, I've been punched in the face as a hello. Like, it's just how it works.
It really is.
Like, one of my younger crew is all into that weird black market sci-fi shit, and they showed me this thing about, like, these aliens called Klingons, and like, yeah, that's basically us. Punch you in the face is, hi, how are you? What you gonna do about it?
The city werewolves need, and will at least lurk a bit before they start attacking you for the friendship hello. They don't punch me in the face to say hello, at least. And they don't punch any of the other wolf bloods in the city. And the wolf bloods in the city don't punch each other. So they're a lot more civilized in Eden than they are here, it sounds like.
Yeah, Eden sounds really weird. Like, maybe not the bad weird, but weird.
There are 100 werewolves, 100 wolf blood almost for every werewolf in the city in Eden. So there are not a lot of werewolves in Eden City.
Yeah, I hear the merchant marine is a lot of maybe not werewolves, but people in my line of work.
I know a fair few. Happen to work at a place called, starts with an S and I've forgotten it. Fuck. I'm looking up. It's the, what's the name of it? Nope, I've forgotten. It's the bar.
Oh, Saga?
Saga, that's it. I kind of want to say Savage, and it's like, no, it's not Savage. Sorry.
Okay, so you're having a nice conversation. It turns out Mac is a Rahu, or they no longer use moon signs because they don't actually know about the moon phases because Luna is lost. So they basically just go by the auspice names. They all seem to happen at random. Klaus, roll wits investigation. Oh, wait, Klaus fell off. Okay, so
Klaus is waiting to get back in.
Oh, sorry, friend.
So, what am I rolling?
Wits investigation.
Cool. Where is investigation? It's hiding. I have 0,
mental.
so that's a -1.
You have a 0 in investigation?
Yeah.
It's a mental skill.
Okay. All right. Then yeah.
I'm at 12.
All right. You think this short chick is following you, but you're not sure. You did just do a drug deal in a place you don't live.
True.
But 2 success, I'll give you that much. It's like, oh. What do you do?
I try to shake the tail. Get
Okay.
away.
I'll say that is a wit stealth.
Right. Three successes.
Okay, they only okay, that beats their roll. So yeah, you managed to shake the tail, but
Cool.
Whoops.
Whoops. I'll be more subtle next time.
Please.
You only sold drugs to the loudest people in the quadrant.
And made them louder by doing so.
Anyway, so it is the time that the transport is supposed to arrive. Are you all waiting at the gate in the like middle class area?
Dune is technically.
Okay, Dune is there on time.
I'm actually going to get there on time this time.
Yeah, I'm going to get there a little early.
Okay. So Presley, you're getting there early. So you're the first one to get there and find out that the ship also arrived about an hour earlier than it was supposed to.
Well, shit.
And you do not see you don't see anyone hanging out. But the gate, the kind of the gate, so to speak, is open. There are some people in company, shipping uniforms, kind of talking and filling out forms and having a snack. People are stretching their legs and they're about to get their departure time is still like an hour after this, but they did get in early. So they didn't leave without you because like no one does that.
Yeah.
They're waiting for connecting flights and the equivalent, and
it's weird they got there an hour early.
Yeah, the core is weird.
Nonsense.
Huh?
The Stijin Gate nonsense.
Yeah.
So yeah, and so you have a ticket for the transport, right? Like you worked out. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah, we all have tickets.
So yeah, there's only like
part of the plan.
Just wanted to remember what the plan was. So you don't see anyone hanging out outside except for company people. What do you do?
Can I do I see anyone that maybe fits the description of Melly?
Give me a wits investigation roll.
Yes.
Can I also make a wits investigation roll to try and smell anything that smells particularly like a lot of sugar candy?
It's one way to find her.
Yeah, we'll
Sure,
say you can get there. Yeah, sure, we'll allow that.
All right, one sec. I'm trying to find I somehow managed to close my character sheet, and I do not know what my wits and investigation are.
Okay, so that's a 7. Okay, so 7 plus 6 is 13 for 3, 6.
Let me roll first.
8, 11. 2 successes. I can math eventually.
Okay, I rolled a 4. I don't know what my stuff is. That's okay. I'm sorry. I accidentally did a dumb and closed my thingy. Haha! Okay, here we are. Yes, sorry for the delay, friends. Wits investigation. So that's 3 and 3. So 4 plus 6 is a 10.
Okay. So you got one. So between the two of you, you got 3 successes. So you, Presley, you do not see a girl matching the description. So 18-year-old girl, with like a bright blue fade and then like a light pink bunch of curls on the other side. Really cute, young, cute kid, bright blue eyes, really skinny. Looks like she needs a sandwich.
Okay.
Yeah, but you don't see anyone like that. It really looks like it's just employees.
Okay.
However, Dune, you can smell the sugar, like kind of strongly actually. So it's like, okay.
Is it coming from outside the ship or inside the ship?
You smell it both inside and outside the ship.
What are the odds she's running off without us?
Should I board and you look around out here?
Let's do that. So I'll see if I can figure out where the smell's coming from out here.
You want me to reach out to the others?
The others are there by now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Class and Dune said they got there on time, and I'm assuming Petruchio was on time.
Right.
walking at a lurk.
Okay. Who wants to board with me? Maybe we split up into pairs?
I'll board.
Sounds like a good plan.
Sounds
Perfect.
like
I'll go with Dune then.
all right.
Okay.
So
So yeah, there's an employees. They're the employees hanging out in front of the door into the transport, which looks like another extra large truck configuration, except their passenger area seats like up to 20 people.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more like actually maybe not 20, but it basically looks like this is meant to be half cargo, half passengers. Whereas Jen's ship was more like cargo and passenger sideline.
Yeah.
Or like a slightly larger loading crew if you need it for all the cargo.
Okay.
So yeah, they just check your tickets, so to speak, on the way in, and they're like, yeah, so we got here really early. So we're not going to leave until our pre-designated or pre-scheduled time for Eden. So if anyone else is coming, don't worry about being left behind. But we will be fully gassed up and have all the maintenance like checked by the time we take off. So we will be leaving right on time.
Okay, thank you so much.
So
worried.
If they're a little bit on the late side, usually you want to tell them to be on time.
Yeah. Okay, I don't think we'll have any problems. Thank you. Thank you so much.
So you were the did you register these tickets under your company name or?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you're the Carve tourist group.
Carve tourist.
There's two more of you we're waiting for.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. Or not waiting, but tell the other two to definitely be here on time.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
All right. And I mean, we're not leaving for like another hour. So if you have, if you want to pick up a snack or souvenir or something, before we head out,
Okay,
some of our other passengers are out stretching their legs, because then the, Stygian gates are a bit much.
Yeah.
For folks. So. So yeah, just we'll have to check your ticket when you come back on the ship, but just hold on to it and you can hang out here or come back, try to be here for 2 minutes. Yeah, if you want.
Okay, I'd rather board. I'm so worried about being left behind. It happened once, and it was the only time it needed to happen. It happens once, and then it's just everything. Okay, so thank you. Problem. I think I'm just gonna read my book. Okay.
No problem. If you need anything, just ask what our personnel. We're all wearing uniforms. We're very easy to find. So
perfect.
And there are a few passengers in there. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Okay.
Yeah. Enjoy the ride. Enjoy.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, and there are assigned numbered seats. Yours are all together, and so yeah, there's some. There are a couple of dudes in black suits with kind of high collars, just sort of reading their phones to themselves. And that's about it in the passenger area.
That's it. Okay.
Yeah.
So no sign of Melly.
There are no teenagers that you can see.
Okay.
Right.
Teenagers.
So outside, we didn't do any of this. So we didn't hear any of that, basically, except what they texted us about the arrival times and what have you. So we're going to go around and see if we can follow the scent trail. Because we're afraid is that Melly's gone wandering and has forgotten.
I assume the people on the ship communicate to the people not on the ship that Melly is not there. So who is on the ship and who is wandering?
I'm on the ship.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so now the personnel aren't telling you have to stay on the ship. So you can go with your friends if you want.
But I'll head out with them.
Yeah.
All right.
We were the actions.
Okay.
Okay. I guess I should also go out.
Splitting the party. It's
okay. So I will. I will go out. I will go with the rest of the group. I figured if we had like half inside and half outside, there would be like a should the character. I mean, I guess that's that's you.
Right.
So okay, I guess I will go check out the shopping.
Rolling wits investigation to try and follow
the crewman that you talked before is like, oh yeah, and he points you towards some places that are good for shopping here, and he's like, don't go over there because that's the bad part of the station.
Okay. Oh no, what's that?
It's just very degraded and run down, and there are a lot more technical problems in that area, and so it's rumored that there's a pretty strong criminal element in there. And it can be, if you do have to go through that sector, or that quadrant, you want to, keep your bag in sight.
Oh my god! Okay,
and
that's so
not
scary.
Take your communicator out. It is what it is. I would recommend going, the opposite direction or do the shopping around here.
There's like really good shopping that way.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm so excited. Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go do that.
No problem.
Okay.
I'll see you in 45 minutes. And he goes back to looking at his manifest.
All right, I'm gonna.
So now, if you're following the candy trail, you must make a Dune. If you're trying to sniff this girl out, I guess.
Wits investigation.
I would allow investigation or survival, because you were literally trying to sniff them out.
Yeah, but investigation's higher, so
yeah.
I rolled 10. So that explodes.
Oh yeah.
What does that mean?
And that's a 9. So that's 19 to begin with. Plus 6 is 25.
Oh yeah, so that's a whole lot of successes. But when it explodes, that means you roll a 10 again, and then you add more to your roll.
That's what I did. Yeah. I rolled the 10 on the die, and I
heard someone say, "What does explode mean?" And it's
sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah, what does that mean?
It means if you roll a 10 on your first on your roll for the check, you can roll that dice again, and so your dice roll is 10 plus the next roll plus your bonuses.
A natural 10 on the dice, not adding up to 10 on the dice. It has to be
natural 10.
0 on the die.
Okay, a natural 10. Okay.
A natural 10 on the die means you get to roll a die again and add that also to you.
So you got like 8 successes.
Gotcha.
Okay. So Merc, what did you roll?
25.
25.
In the end, I rolled a 9 and a 10, and I have a bonus of 6, so that's 25. That's 5 successes.
Yeah, that's 5 successes. All right. Yeah. So not only do you pick up the strong candy sense, so you know how Dune can tell the difference between a regular fruit and a goblin fruit on Eden.
Mm.
You get a similar sense that this is not a natural candy smell.
Is any such thing like natural candy smell? Does candy naturally have a smell?
It just smells like sugar. Like you can also tell very specifically, it's like a cotton candy smell.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really just pure sponge sugar with no additional flavorings, and it just smells like light and airy. And you follow it pretty easily into the Delta Quadrant, which is again the bad side of town.
I was afraid of that, but I keep following it. Do I find it eventually?
It is 9:30, so I'm gonna say you do.
Hey!
Sometimes you just gotta.
All right.
So, and is everyone going with Dune?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Klaus, roll Wits investigation again with a +1. Or with an additional +1.
It's 11. So that's 2 successes.
Okay.
I can do basic addition and subtraction.
So you see that tail again. And she's got some friends that are rather taller than she is.
Rather taller in what sort of way?
Taller in the tall mean muscular scars.
Do I notice them?
Roll wits investigation.
Alright.
If it doesn't seem like you do notice them, I'm gonna nudge Dune and kind of like point them out.
What did you roll?
Wits investigation, I rolled a 5 plus 6 is 11 for 2 successes.
Okay, Dune, you also kind of get a whiff of that as you notice Klaus has gotten a little nervous, and you follow and like, uh-oh. So
Klaus?
yeah, you're being tailed by some people.
Klaus, what the hell did you do?
I don't know. I sold some legal drugs to people, and these guys started following me.
You sold
They were legal.
You sold drugs on Union territory to
legal drugs to people who are partying.
The point is you sold them without a license.
A license. So to speak.
Cut to the local pushers.
Yep.
Well, we haven't got time to deal with them now.
Yep, you're following the trail, and these goons are following you. Does anyone want to do anything about that?
To do anything about what?
The goons that are following you. The big, scary goons.
Yes.
Okay.
Please, charisma person, save us.
Yeah. Okay. I'm
tapping the bard now.
Okay, I'm gonna how about
powers active.
I've got like a map of the station in my hand. And I'm gonna start looking around very cluelessly and walk up to one of them and go, hey, so I'm really confused. You look like you know where things are. Can you help me find some stuff? I'm really confused, and I only have like a few minutes before I have to get on a flight, and I'm really, really worried. Can you help me? Are you from around here?
I need you to roll manipulation and I guess persuasion. Yeah, go. Actually, I would say this is manipulation and streetwise or socialize, whichever is higher. They're right next to each other under social.
2 plus what? Manipulation and socialize. Socialize is 5. Manipulation is 4, so 9, 11.
Okay, so you get 2 successes. So you manage to stop one of them. One of the big dudes. The other big dude and the small lady continue on.
Okay.
Kind of without even blinking. So, and he's just like, sure, I guess. What are you looking for?
Okay, so I heard that there's this really good chocolate shop, and I really want to bring some presents home, because, you know, it's my best friend's birthday tomorrow, and it's, like, supposed to be a really, really big surprise, and then, like, I forgot to get them anything, and it's, like, been a really, really hard time. So I know that there's that chocolate shop, and, okay, so, I'm really looking for a hat. It's like I need something that's like really strange, you know, like really, really oddly specific. I don't know exactly what yet. I think I want something in like a really bright color, but like I want something that's like very authentic, you know, like very here. Yeah.
I don't like a hat. So a hat shop.
Yeah, like a hat shop and the chocolate shop. And I'm looking here and it seems like it says it's gonna be up that way, but it might be down that way, and I'm so confused.
He just kind of like he's not sure what to do, and like he's having a dirt moment because this is not how this day was supposed to go. While that's happening, now you're down to one goon and a tiny lady who couldn't possibly be scary. She's so tiny, is still following you guys. The other three.
Well, I could do something about them, but I'm the one following the trail, so...
Yeah, so...
Yukio, do you have anything you could do about them?
You don't...
I think Patricia is too good-natured to suspect them of anything nefarious at this point, but they have been following rather persistently, so we might just stop and ask if they need help getting anywhere.
Okay, that's going to be another manipulation. Actually, does Patricia really think that?
I mean, he wants to assume... He's like dealt with like shady characters before, but he wants to assume the best in people, right?
Oh, okay, you're a high humanity Vontrue. Okay.
Okay.
Then I'm gonna say I'm gonna say that would be more of a presence socialize role.
Okay.
So presence is at the top under attributes, and socialize is under social.
Okay, so that is +5 overall. That's an 11.
2 successes.
Okay, so 2 successes. You managed to stop the other big guy, and he's just like. So what do you say to this other large, battle-scarred, shady-looking person?
Is he like taller and like spookier than Petruchio?
Mm-hmm.
Or about like...
Let's see. Where did that dice come from? That is the wrong bag of dice.
He might have a height advantage just because Petruchio is probably hunched all the time.
3. 1, 2, 3, 4.
It's a pretty great success. It's a pretty good suggestion there.
For that, I would say if you want to make an additional wits investigation or occult roll, whichever is higher.
To tell if he's like a spooky person?
Yeah, to tell if he's spooky.
Okay. Let's see how spooky this guy is. Wits is 3. Occults, you said?
Occult or investigation, whichever is higher.
Well, they're the same, so that's going to be +4. 9.
Okay, so you get a success. You definitely get the sense that you get, based on some of his tattoos and markings, you think he might be a changeling, or at least allied with them. But he is a pretty big, spooky dude. Being a changeling isn't always obvious. They all have like a human mien, and then in certain areas that are more naturally magical, or if for God forbid you get stuck in a hedge with one, the hedge being their dimension that is on top of the regular mundane one, you see the true changeling underneath the human mask. But like you're pretty old. You're old for a human, at least. Not that old, but you've been around and you know what you're looking at. It's like, okay.
For one thing, it looks Chrysler.
And you've met some changelings. So yeah, you have some changeling friends. So yeah, this guy.
It's not racism for your friends is a changeling. I get.
Okay, so yeah, this guy looks like he might be a changeling, a really big bruiser of a changeling, and some of them are very martially inclined, just like some vampires and werewolves are martially martially.
This one.
Okay, it's like, so you managed to stop in front of this guy, and he stops and is like, he doesn't completely go like brain dead like the other one. He's like, what? So what do you say?
See, now I'm having trouble thinking of a good excuse to like stop and like take on. Maybe it's something like
Have you heard of our Lord and Savior Count Dracula?
Actually, that is kind of a thing in Requiem for the Ordo Dracul. But Petruchio is an Invictus.
That's amazing.
I'll probably just be like, "Oh, hello, friend. Do you need something? I don't know. I noticed you were following us. My autograph, perhaps?"
Autograph? No, we don't take kindly to people doing business in our territory without our permission.
How dumb do I play it?
God damn it, Klaus.
Sorry.
This is about the drugs, isn't it?
This is amazing.
I wasn't even in the bar, so at this point I'm assuming business is about like
People smuggling.
yeah, smuggling stuff. Like this guy probably he's a changeling,
Oh, no.
maybe. So like he's something on the goblin fruit that like our escort brought in.
If he's out, ask him he's on the Irregular Tourism Board.
No, that's it. He doesn't like our tourism enterprise coming in. They're probably a tourist organization, a rival firm. Yeah, so I'll just like backpedal. Like, I didn't know like what tourism firm do you work for? Like, I didn't know this was your territory.
Tourism? Yeah, we'll call it tourism. I work with the Archimedes tourism company. I want Petruchia, I would like you to roll
The register with a Better Business Bureau.
I don't think this is a good roll for you, but
oh dear.
Streetwise. This is a -1.
We're not doing we're not doing well today.
Are there any merits that you could add to this role, given that you're a conservator who knows people?
Petruchio's a vampire, you can use command. But anyway.
Well,
I could do that if things go sour. That is always a possibility. Yeah, I have like hacker contacts, but unless this dude is like specifically, I don't know if I would like.
Well, does Petruchio think Archimedes sounds like a tourism company?
Not particularly.
Then, you know.
It sounds like some sort of government surveillance program. But with the owl themes and all.
Then hackers would know about that.
Sure, let's go for it. So contacts hackers is a 3, and I could add that to my wits. Or
in this case, it's almost 10 o'clock, so I'll let you use all 3 at once. Usually it's just 1 each, but I also know.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure you say you have a 0 in Streetwise, so there's that.
So just be 1 for my hacker contact, or +3 hacker contacts.
Okay, what did you roll?
11 again.
Okay. So in thinking about government surveillance, hacker contacts, illegal stuff, that's as good as black market for what's Archimedes is a black market syndicate. You know of hackers being employed by them, and then the idea is the only way to leave the syndicate is feet first.
God damn it, Cloud.
So you've lost some friends to this organization, either because they couldn't really take any outside jobs outside of this one syndicate anymore, or they tried to, and it didn't go well.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate. Now we're the ones who pissed them off.
Oh, Klaus, why?
Because I wasn't taking this into consideration.
Oh, buddy, my guy.
It's
Sweaty,
why
my
we can't
guy,
keep you
why?
anywhere, and it's not because you think of death.
So yeah, there's
Wow.
like
Dirty.
Listen, I'm
Um,
crunching a plan. It's fine.
Everything's
not-
fine here now. How are you?
not knowing what exactly put these people off, I'm just going to profusely apologize for a dozen different crimes that we may or may not have committed in the past few years, and then
Oh,
I'm probably
Lord.
going to use one of my special abilities.
Oh,
Okay.
dear.
I would say that roll for the special ability, and then you can role play the apology.
Okay. All right. Mesmerize lets me like I can make a dude like forget or remember something different, sort of. So I could just like
Well, so wait, let me bring up your sheet. Because yeah, so mesmerize. Have you ever played any of the White Wolf vampire games?
no.
Okay, so mesmerize is the thing you have to do first to kind of entrance them.
That's what it looked like. These all relied
Yeah.
on having a dude mesmerize.
So yeah, I mean you can use it as a distraction. You can't tell them to do anything super complicated,
Yeah.
and your pool for that is a 7, because I calculated all that already.
Okay.
Because that would be easier.
So yeah. Nice. That is a 10.
Okay.
The pool is just like
And they
it's
don't
just
get a
dice
defense. Yeah.
Okay.
And that doesn't cost any vitae. Okay, so you can command them as an instant action. So
it says
or forget ever meeting her. Yep. Okay. So so you do the whoosh. You successfully whammy this guy. So how do you tell them to leave you alone, or forget about you, or forget this hat? Like how do you spin this?
I take it just saying F off would be out of character and too vague to count.
A little vague, you know, but
Man, how do I get rid of scrub a dozen crimes that I didn't commit? Let's see.
Forget the last 5 minutes and then go to the bathroom. You have to take a monster shit for the next 2 hours.
very colorful list, sir. Okay.
Can I just point to the girl she's with and be like, she did it, not me?
I'll allow that.
Too.
Yeah, I'll allow that.
Just point the blame elsewhere.
So you're putting the blame on the short woman he came with, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, it wasn't us. It was so. How do you say it? So you're talking to this guy. The short woman is still following your companions. What do you do? So what do you say? It is a role playing game.
I'll just realizing that there's since I can't address one thing in particular, I'll just panic and be like, Mesmer, she did it. That.
All the crimes.
So he goes from kind of getting into the stare down, but not quite, to suddenly blinking and then zoom after the blonde woman, and suddenly he and the blonde woman are not there. You're like,
Just not there.
just not there.
I feel like they probably went into the hedge, and I would not want to follow them even if I could. It's either the hedge or the gauntlet, or through the gauntlet into the spirit world, and I pity both of them if that's what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, do you rejoin your companions?
I'm still going after the.
Yeah. I think we
Okay.
should split it out how long Mesmer lasts.
It'll last long enough for y'all to get away.
Let's do it.
What's Pricely doing?
Are you still talking at the dumb mook who's less useful?
I mean, the dumb mook has taken me around to every shop that I want to go to, and then I am probably heading back to the transport. I can't.
Yeah, he doesn't even know how this happened, but he's doing it.
Yeah.
He's like, what?
Yeah. Yeah, the dumb mook is taking me shopping, and then he is taking me back to the transport.
You can tell this guy's a changeling too, and it's like, so you know exactly what buttons to push at this point.
100%.
And it's like, so that happens.
So easy. I wish that I would have gotten one of the more useful ones, but you know, here we are.
Yep, you go to a
Here's
hat
a big
shop, you
dumb
go to
guy.
a chocolate shop. It's
You're getting
you
all
know,
sorts of souvenirs.
I
this
really
dumb
am.
guy is like carrying all this stuff for you now, and he's like, "What is going on?" So, for those of you on the candy trail, you kind of walk past the equivalent of a CVS, where her scent goes in and then comes back out again. And then you come to the front entrance of some kind of nightclub. There's very loud, dancey techno music inside.
Not my first choice either, but we each do what we must. So I go inside.
Yeah, there's a bouncer, but it's basically like pay 5 creds and get in. Like, they're not really doing a big. They're not doing a very big job of like filtering customers like some nightclubs. They're just like 5 credits going.
Mhm.
I tip my hat to him, and I tip him. I give him 10 credits.
Oh, cool. Thanks. Professional courtesy.
Professional courtesy. I have been there and I've done that. And I will go in the club and I will follow the scent trail.
Yep. And the rest of you, anyone who falls into the club also has to pay 5 credits,
Okay.
which is not hard. So,
This is my first choice, and I'm going right in there because I can surely find someone in the club like this, right?
Klaus,
um,
I saw what happened the last time you pulled shenanigans, and if you do it again, I'll pull one of your fingers off and you'll have to retouch it yourself later.
I'm being cautious, okay?
meanwhile, Klaus, you see lots of people dealing drugs. And now you notice the other people not dealing drugs, but watching people deal drugs. And you're like, oh, okay. Since you just kept seeing that tail, I'm going to let you just have it. like, oh, that's how it works here. Whoops. So yeah, but Dune, you still got 5 successes, so you are still able to trace this scent to an even. It's actually not the dark corner of the club. She's like right next to some of the bright, sparkly light things that's like on the floor and going up, and she's just like all of like the space versions of the crappy candies that are just sugar and binder and not any flavor, like Necco wafers and candy. She's got like 8 candy necklaces on, and she's just like, I don't know. And she's like kind of dancing and eating at the same time, and she's having so much fun.
Miss Smelly. Are you Miss Smelly?
Like she's stuck in mode, which I won't make you roll to figure out. Like, she probably is and doesn't know what lie to give you or how to lie about it.
Baby.
You contacted us to help you get to Eden and get to Eden your shell. So I'll get her by the shoulder.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to have some fun first.
Aye, but the shuttle leaves in less than 45 minutes, and we need to be getting back before that happens.
At this point, you have about 15 minutes.
Aye.
Or maybe about 20 minutes. So not impossible, but you better get there without any more distractions.
Do I need to hoik around my shoulder and run? Because I can. To make it.
She resists a little, but she is tiny and is very easy to make her go.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I've got her by the scent and by the shoulder.
And you know, I'm not even going to make you roll for it because you tip the bouncer extra and he doesn't even blink an eye that you are dragging someone who may not, someone of indiscriminate age, but young out of his club.
One of my cousins. Much obliged to you.
Yeah, take it easy.
All right, and we'll head back to the ship.
Yeah, she is just kind of like, it's like she's vibrating.
When you get to Eden, I know a place that'll have a dance floor about like that. So.
Okay. Is there a candy store too?
On Eden, there is many candies, and you will probably enjoy the fruits of the orchards, if I had to guess correctly.
Okay.
Again.
All right.
Brackets.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Let's just pretend that Klaus is following me because I don't want to have to.
Hey.
Klaus, are you following like
if
a?
I have to, I
like
will shoulder and yank and drag you all the way back.
Yeah, I'll just follow along.
Okay. So this definitely is like a weird, bright chick. Like, yeah. So she's very just like unable to focus.
Can I do what's the called?
Very easy to
know what kind of thing she is?
Sure. What's it called?
I got 9, so 1 success.
Okay. You're with 1 success. You can rule out changeling. That would have been your go-to. Well, she's clearly not a vampire. You know how to look for one of those.
Not a werewolf either. It's
not a werewolf. Mages.
Klaus is.
Yeah, mages are obvious. Well, you know of whether or not you know Klaus is one. You have met some mages. They're a bit more subtle, but
I just meant I thought Klaus was like a robot or something.
More like an android.
Aye.
Well, lots of people have plugins that. Well, Klaus, do your coworkers know your past, or how much of it have you told them about?
Probably not a ton. It's like kind of obvious that I'm not totally human, but I probably haven't said much about my background.
Humans tend to smell a body odor, and Klaus hasn't got any, so that's why I was assuming it wasn't human. Because I'm assuming it didn't give the android sweat glands. That's just an assumption I made.
I will say that since you specifically work for an underground railroad, that yeah, you're getting that sense. But Klaus, for the most part, has learned to cover up all signs that they can of their past.
Right.
And you know there's something spooky, but maybe they haven't told you exactly what.
I'm an underground railroad. I don't ask the questions about the past, so I don't. Yeah. I just human. That's
You're definitely getting a sense of there is something spooky about this candy girl, but you can't quite put your finger on it. And it feels familiar, but you can't put your finger. Sure, Klaus, you could do that.
Manic pixie gun.
Manic pixie, yeah, and pixie dust. So much. So she's downing like fistfuls of pixie sticks. It's ridiculous. Where is she putting all of it? So Klaus, what do I will allow you, if you just want. So we haven't been super specific on how your stuff works. If you want to do a wits occult roll, plus your if you want to spend a point of fuel, let me see. Character close. I'm just gonna say make a wits occult roll, and spend a mana and just say that you can do a which sphere is this kind of ritual, like
Okay.
quick instant cast, because mage magic is annoying. But you need at least one success.
Okay. Well, I'm at 2 with the roll and the wits occult, and then if I spend a point of mana, that just adds 1 more to it.
No, that's just to make it a spell.
Okay.
Basically, you are doing a magic.
Cool.
But I
I'm
made
at
it
12, which is 2 successes.
okay. So yeah, it's basically you did the equivalent of like speak and spell, or like the Star Trek like beep beep. What comes up on my radar? And you get a sense that she is somehow like, and you get 2 successes. Okay. So as a mage, as a person with a dot of spirit, you can tell this girl is possessed by some kind of spirit. So not innately supernatural, but they're called ridden. Ridden, as in being ridden by a spirit. You see them from time to time in Eden City, because there are so few. There are very few werewolves, but also the gauntlet is super high, so it's hard for spirits to come in and possess people. But it's generally not a good thing. And you do not have the capabilities to unpossess her.
Okay, that was my next question is, do I know what to do in a situation like this?
What you do in a situation like this is get an adult.
Oh, great.
Might have more information about such a thing, as they do hunt spirits there.
Yeah, each of you knows people who can fix this, but yeah, you can't do that here, and you've already pissed off some people here, so
yeah. Sorry.
Like your contact on the station for your company is another mage, but like you've already caused some problems, and it's 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
So we'll say you get on the ship, so and just in time for it to take off, and they're like, "Oh, we were wondering where she got off to. It's a good thing you found her." And the employees don't pay much money.
I bought a bottle from the tavern for the return trip.
Yep. Yeah, and they don't stop you. They're like, "That's fine." It's a
common reaction.
Yeah. So yeah, a few people on the transport have hip flasks and stuff because they're so you have to, like, she just like like she doesn't want to sit still, like you kind of have to make her. Luckily her seat isn't far from yours, and a few people on the transport are clearly annoyed that she's back.
Can I like give her something to make the sugar rush calm down?
Sure. Roll a wits medicine. Or actually wits medicine is fine.
Okay.
Because this is kind of what your character's deal is, stats-wise.
Supposed to be.
Yeah. Okay, well, I've got an 11, so it's 1 success.
Oh wait, you rolled a 1?
I rolled a 1.
Yeah, that's not a success. So your pool for wits and medicine is already a 10?
Yeah.
So you start with a success unless you roll a 1.
Okay.
So...
Oh boy.
I haven't rolled a 1 yet. This is...
Oh
well, if I'm gonna fail at any point, I suppose this is not a bad point to fail at.
So yeah, so you're trying to give her something to speed up her metabolism, or just a tranquilizer, or what?
Probably more along the tranquilizer lines.
Okay. Oh
dear.
She does not have a lot of stamina. So yeah, roll another wits medicine.
Oh god. That's a 15.
Okay, good.
That's better.
Because you give her a tranquilizer, and she basically just thuds right out.
Oh crap! I totally misjudged that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Her
Lord.
heart has not stopped, but your inner computer goes ding, ding, ding. This was a bad. And you will need to give her something else now to stabilize the stabilization.
Okay.
Klaus.
So Klaus
I'm
gives.
sorry, I'm really fucking everything up today, aren't I?
So
Oopsie.
Klaus, do you just inject her with something? Do you give her a tablet and say this is candy? Like, what do you do?
She's completely out at this point.
She's
Can't give her
completely
any more
out. I'd probably
candy.
just inject her with something.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the first one. Did you like give her? Yeah.
It was probably a tablet that I told her was candy.
And then she
Because that's
passed
the
it.
easy way to do it.
You're like, oh shit. So yeah. So roll wits medicine again. You have a -2.
Okay, I rolled a 10.
Okay.
So
Roll again.
Roll again.
that's an 8. So it's
Okay.
a lot.
A lot.
I don't have to do the
So yeah, that's a lot. And so yeah, you basically, oh whoops, and so you inject her. So she takes it. Oh yeah, I'll thunk, like almost comically, like it shouldn't have hit her that fast, and just like thunk. And her,
Oh shit.
7
she's.
success.
It's a little hard to tell because her lipstick is already blue, but her lips started to change colors around the, and then you're like, oh, yeah. And so she kind of like wakes up and is less dead looking, and her heartbeat has stabilized and she is still unconscious. And everyone kind of like looking at you weird because like, what the fuck was that? And she's not even sitting with you guys. And it's like, so yeah, but she's stable for the rest of the trip.
Okay, I was about to say, I can make an intimidation check against the entire rest of the compartment if I have to.
Listen, I'm a medical professional. It's fine.
Oh, Lord.
Did you actually say that to them?
No.
Okay.
If I do, it's not like that. It's probably more like I catch the eye of someone who's like staring particularly hard, and I'm like, I'm a doctor. It's okay.
You will need I will say that's a presence persuasion roll.
Okay.
I seem trustworthy.
I'm all right at that. It's gonna be 11 exactly.
Okay, they're
Heck yeah. 2 successes.
well, you're the strangest medical doctor they've ever seen, but they cut, this middle-aged woman kind of just sits back in her seat and is just kind of keeping an eye on you for the rest of the trip and not letting Klaus anywhere near her. She can help it, but also not intervening.
Probably for the best. All right.
And does not alert, ship staff. So it only takes, it takes about a half hour to get to the gates, and then another 20 minutes to half hour through it, and then another 15 minutes to touch down in the old town spaceport. So the smaller, older one near where you work.
Convenient.
And she's, at this point, she's kind of like a little bit awake. She's kind of like very groggy, like someone who's just been taken out of surgery, because that's probably the level of drug Klaus gave her. Whoops.
I'll pick it up and I'll carry you.
Sometimes there's lag in your internal computer bank, and it's like, whoa, whoops.
As we like get to where she's sitting, I'm gonna be like, "You feeling better now, kid?"
Okay, I'm hungry.
Sounds about right.
The office.
Okay, so so you live in a mega city, but unlike other planets in the expanse, Eden or Balder, which is the planet, does not do the whole, like, weather alteration thing. Because, you know, they actually still have farms and wildlife and things like that, so you don't want to mess with the weather. So it's kind of a rainy Wednesday evening by the time you get back to your office. So it looks like, you know, it's been drizzling on and off. As you're about a block away from the office when it starts raining, somewhat intensely.
Does she start melting?
Well, first she starts screaming and then she passes out. And as you look at her, yes, her face has started to melt partially.
God damn it. I'll take my jacket off and I'll put it over her.
Yeah, her pink and her bright pink hair has completely melted away and is now like rivers of just like dark pink magenta kind of color running down onto her clothing.
All right. I come out of my jacket and I pick it up and I run.
And the flesh is actually starting to melt off of the half of her face where the pink hair was.
All right. I'm going to roll.
I did not expect that to be the result. Huh.
I'm going to roll strength.
Well,
I'm going to roll survival, I believe.
So yeah, she screams a bit because it hurts and then she passes out again.
And I'll tap a combat plugin to make myself faster. So
okay.
That's strength is 5 plus 4.
Riddens are fucked up.
7.
Yeah.
7. And that is a 12 for 2 successes.
Okay, so what is your objective? Is just cover her up and run to shelter?
Pick it up, run to the office as fast as I can.
I'll say you make it. So we're running a little over time, but we started a bit late, so it's fine. Next Saturday.
All right.
So yeah, you probably have like a few cots in the, just based on the nature of your sideline backroom business. You have, you know, some cots and some fridge of food and stuff like that in the office. So I'll say you get there a bit before the rest of your party. So how do you set her up now that she's all melty? And like where your hands have touched her, or is like where she got rained on and your hands touch her, your hands are sticky now?
All right, clearly I need to get a dry really quickly. So I'll toss her in a chair and get, I suppose we have either towels or a space hair dryer or something like that. And I'll get that. And I'll apply those as well as I can.
So you kind of sit her in a comfy chair and start hair drying her dry. It is
I don't have sugar, but
what setting do you put the hair dryer on?
No heat, high fan.
Good answer. Because she's made of sugar. Yeah, don't worry. I'll just say that you're mostly getting her dried off, and as and we lost our changeling. So as the rest of you get into back into the office, you see this scene of Dune drying off the girl with a hairdryer. So yeah, what's next?
Contacting someone who can get the spirit out of her.
Okay, well, Klaus and Dune, you both are people.
I'll start making some calls.
Yeah,
I'll let the mom know that her daughter is safely here. Won't talk about the nature of.
Let her know that her daughter may be able to come back safely.
I'll do that.
Aye. If we can get the spirit out, she'll be a human again, and we can just send her back.
It's being ridden. Whoever wants to think about how this wants to ponder on this intelligence occult roll.
All right. That's a 10, so it explodes. That's 3, so that's 13 base with 5, 18.
Okay. So yes, so that's a very big roll. So yeah, So being possessed by a spirit forcibly is not a clean business, because spirits really want those warm, fleshy feelings, but they are not made for this world. Just like humans are not made for the shadow world, where the spirits are supposed to stay, and the werewolves, the people, the Aratha, are supposed to stop either from crossing over. And like some mages have the same kind of, well, most mages have the same outlook, except for the ones that want everyone to awaken, but they're annoying. But in general, it's like, no, Mundi vanilla humans should not be in the shadow realm, should not mix with spirits. It's bad. Because it starts with weird behavioral changes, and then slowly but surely, often in really obvious ways, but sometimes in more subtle ways, apparently, the human body will start to warp and alter depending on what kind of spirit has possessed them.
So there's no going back, even if we get the spirit out, she'll still be made of sugar for the rest of her life.
You're not sure about that, but all of the physical damage she's taken might need some work. And there are like regular cosmetic, medical and magical means of fixing her up again. But like, you guys definitely got to her at a more opportune moment than if she'd stayed in the core. Also, it makes sense with the ungodly number of successes you got. So there are no werewolves or mages in the core, presumably. But while the rumor is that the core doesn't have a hedge, you've never heard stories about whether or not it has a shadow spirit realm.
I mean,
looking
at this poor sod, I'm going to say it probably has at least access points, if not a whole one of its own.
Yeah, even if the gauntlet's super thick, like, spirits do still get through. They're ornery little bastards and buggers. And just very weirdly, seductive to people who want power or new experiences or are easily manipulated to letting something possess them and then turn their bodies into sugar.
For example.
All
right.
So
I get that off and I call my aunt.
Yeah, she's actually the kind of werewolf that is, they're called Ithair. They're basically the shamans, and it's kind of their job is all the rituals and all the spirit shit. Like, even more spirit shit than, like, your typical werewolf.
Aye.
Because the Aratha themselves are technically part spirit, but, like, in a natural way, not the fucked up way.
Well, I mean, looking at werewolves, some of them can get a bit fucked up, but, not as fucked up as, say, a ridden one.
Yeah. I'll just say, because it's 10:15, so Auntie Batman basically asks you to take her up to the roof.
Not what's raining, Auntie.
And she's like, what's the problem with the rain? I can work in the rain.
She's made of sugar currently, and she will start melting.
Oh dear.
She'll start melting briefly. We got it stopped, but she'll probably need some cosmetic surgery after the fact.
Well, all right. We'll set something up on the roof then.
All right.
Give us about 15 minutes and then come up.
Aye.
And after 15 minutes, you go up to the roof of your building, and there's like a little like shed that wasn't there before. And the door opens, and there's just shadows inside, and like one hand kind of because Auntie Batman doesn't like being seen.
Aye. So
I'm the goddamn Batman.
I'll have the lass covered with my jacket, and I'll do a quick run through the rain into the shed.
So you don't quite do you stay in the shed with the girl?
No.
Okay, then
I'm not that kind of wolf blood, and I don't want to be.
Okay, then you hear some chanting, you hear some screaming on both Auntie and the girls, but only for a few minutes, and then it's quiet, and you hear a knock on the door.
Aye.
Open the door, and then there's only the girl, still all fucked up looking, like sitting alone on this chair, still very, very subdued. And there's no one else in this tiny little shed.
Aye. It's done then.
Auntie'd out. So She's still all messed up.
As Auntie does.
Klaus, I'm not going to make you roll because you have ridiculous stats. She's probably going to need some cosmetic surgery, but like not super difficult surgery. And you actually know some life mages. Typically, life mages are Thrysis. They do, ironically, spirit and life, but there are not very many of them in Eden. Again, probably because the gauntlet's so high that they don't feel comfortable here because there's no spirits. A lot of them, combine spirit and life magic, and they can't do that here, so they don't stick around. But there's like maybe one you know of that you can like get on the horn as a, yeah. So many Acanthus, though. Oh my god, why are there so many Acanthus in this fucking city? But yeah, so you find the one of two Thrysis in the whole city, and they're like, oh shit, yeah, okay. And you set up an appointment to get her fixed up, and the girl is, yeah, still not really cognizant. It also, being ridden takes a mental toll as well. So she's not really sure what's happened to her for the last few weeks.
Presumably she's also still drugged to the gills.
Well, right now, but eventually that'll wear off.
That should only last a couple hours.
Yeah. So you get her, you get the, I forgot the name of the ritual. There's a whole movie about it.
I couldn't remember.
Exorcism. You get her all exercised, and then you get her all fixed up over the next several days. And then she, you find a hotel room for her to rest in. Still don't know where Alex went.
And we send word back to her mum about that she's ready for life in the core again if she wants.
Yeah, she the werewolves scan her, the mages scan her and do all their whoosh. But she doesn't really remember the last several weeks or how she got here. All she remembers is that there was like a circus carnival kind of thing at the core in the lower middle class neighborhood. Like a bunch of traveling performers came in.
One of them liminal carnivals.
Yeah, and she's just like, she went there with her friends, they got snacks, they were sitting at a show, and then like everything after that is just a blur. Like,
Well,
so what happened? How did I get here? Did I take drugs?
Yep.
Did someone slip me drugs?
I'll not say no, but your mum sent you to us for a vacation because the core was not a good place for you to be for a while. But we've fixed that, and you'll have your vacation here, and you'll head back to your mum's when your mum asks for you.
Okay, but so my mom sent me. Why did my mom send me here? Like,
You're from the core, correct? Just
Yeah.
remember that
Yeah.
one. So the core doesn't like the odd folks,
The poor people? Like, no, they don't like poor people, but we am I a supernatural?
You were for a bit. It happened for a bit, but we fixed it, and you're no longer.
So, like, what kind of supernatural was I? Like, will it happen again?
You were possessed by a spirit. A candy floss spirit, near as I can tell. Very odd spirit. But I would not say you weren't at risk again, because I don't know what kind of life the spirits have in the core. It's not really my area of expertise, and they don't welcome people who could tell. So I can't say yes and I can't say no. But I would say that we don't have too many possessed coming out of the core. So you probably are safe as long as you stay out of the carnivals and other liminal spaces as they were. Transitory places where a lot of people come and go and don't stay. Because sometimes they're not people, sometimes they're a little bit more.
Okay. And she's just kind of dazed and not really sure what to make of this, but she can go home.
Aye.
And yeah, so
If you want, we'll send... no, we won't. Never mind. It's illegal to know, but here you can look it up if you want to before you go home. If you want to look up more about what happened and how to avoid it happening again, I should say.
okay.
You can look it up here, but you can't look it up at home.
One of the turtle packs has a spirit watching blog. Spirits and where to not find them.
Aye.
Spirits and where you don't want to find them, but they show up anyway.
Aye.
Spirits and how to do the young lady's guide to invasive spirits.
Aye.
So
Blog. Oh, I saw a spirit once and it spat me out. Something like that. Something ludicrous. But you'll find it on Eden and you won't find it on the core because you can't. It's illegal on the core. Even look it up.
Okay, is it like safe for me to walk around the city and like
aye.
do stuff?
Aye, the spirits don't come here very often. It's not a good place for them. It's very hard for them to get through. My scented aunt keeps them on the other side.
Just warn her not to eat the goblin fruit or smoke the fire thorn.
Don't eat the fruit.
Oh, a pamphlet.
Aye, the pamphlet. Pamphlet. As a regular human, you shouldn't eat the fruit.
Okay. Thanks. So I can call you guys if I need anything while I'm here?
Aye.
Okay.
Or you can stop at a place called Saga. If you can't get to us at the office, we'll probably be there.
Okay. Thanks. Bye. She just, goes back to her hotel room, and so she's there for like 2 or 3 weeks. So, yeah. So, yay, you guys! Y'all succeeded at a mission.
Woo!
Yay!
They're probably
complicated slightly by drug deals.
Only social combat happened, but that's fine. I like social combat. Woohoo! And what did we learn about drug dealing in new places?
Don't do it without figuring out who's in charge.
God damn it.
Yeah, you research Archimedes,
drugs are not good.
If you research Archimedes Syndicate, like this is a mafia that the other mobs don't want to deal with. Like they were like a serious business scary entity before the Silent War, and then in times of war, basically like black markets thrive. But like it's a very unstable thing, so the syndicate kind of fell apart. So in the last 30 years or so, someone has tried to rebuild it, but a lot meaner than it used to be. So like this is like the Sparta of mobs, and like there are plenty of private merchants in the system that and work with, and they're like, oh shit, yeah, they didn't realize they were in Strugnor, and they're like, oh shit, like yeah, they'd known something was up there, but all
right,
yeah, oh dear, whoops.
So we succeeded.
But you're alive! Yay!
Yay!
With all our limbs intact for most of us.
Yep.
And with only light cosmetic surgery required in the end.
Yep, and that was just for the vanilla human, who did not have any vanilla flavoring, ironically. But yep, today's adventure was based on an offhand comment I made in another mixed creatures game that was set in modern times called Accord. But I was playing a Bone Shadow with Thayer werewolf, who casually mentioned, like, no, Ridden are fucked up. Like, you'd think, like, someone gets possessed by a cotton candy spirit, it's fun. Like, it's not fun. You walk into the rain and half their face melts off. And, like, yeah, so this game was, like, 8 years in the making.
So melting half her face off was obligatory.
Yes.
You had to do it.
That was one of the few beats I planned, like, specifically planned in advance. Maybe didn't hit quite the same way, but things didn't get quite as intense and heated as I expected. So, yeah, it would have been that wonderful mode. Oh, we're home, we're relieved. Screaming!
Because we recognized her in the ship. I then nearly killed her on the way home.
What?
Nearly. Mostly dead is not all dead. As we all know.
Klaus is an expert on mostly versus all dead because reasons.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Hellraiser melty thing. I have not yet seen Hellraiser. Ironically, my brain doesn't do well with horror movies because I am nightmare prone. I love Dark Crystal. I still get Dark Crystal nightmares as an adult. And zombies, like, no zombies.
Don't like zombies. Don't like zombies.
But yeah, so it looks like I don't know if Alex is going to be able to get back in. So all right, well, we're a bit late. So hello everyone. I'm Ms. Chrysula on Twitter and usually on Twitch as a civilian. I set up the second channel because I wanted to keep my civvy account civvy-ish, and it's full of goth DJs. So I'm not sure how that would have. It would have been hard to keep track of my own stuff. And yeah, so I guess follow me on Twitter. We don't have a public Discord up yet, but we only have so many followers. Feel free to follow us. We're going to be doing this every Saturday night for the next couple months, I guess, like 6 to 8 weeks. It started out as a 4-week adventure, and then I saw the kind of time dilation effect that happens on webcam games. So yeah.
We'll see.
Thanks, Vampiric Yoda. We try. So yeah, be back here Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern.
Yep.
And yeah, well, hopefully I'll be here playing. If not, like, one of our players from the first game had to bow out, so Maya kindly stepped in to a pre-existing character. I also have some backup players and some backup characters for when it's just like only missing one game, and because there is actually a werewolf that works for your company, but they are in a lodge known as the Harbingers, and they, by their nature, travel everywhere. So Starseed is a wandering wolf that basically goes and does remote jobs in the Expanse and the Verge. Oh wow, my new phone buzzes very loud. Okay.
I heard it.
So yeah, I'm Miss Chrysula. Follow me on social medias or whatever, and come back here and follow us, and yay! And so Maya, did you? How do you feel about your first game with us weirdos?
It was fun. I like being part of this.
Okay, yay! Thanks again for coming.
Yeah.
Yay!
Thanks for inviting me.
Do you want to pitch? Do you have any social media stuff you want to pitch?
Goodness, no.
Oh, okay. So you'll see Maya again here, and that's it.
Yep.
Well, that's fine. All right. Next. Say goodbye.
Who's next?
Klaus, you're next.
Okay, I'm next. I was playing Klaus, and I'm actual Dracus on Instagram and Discord, and yeah. Playing a necromancer is pretty standard for me, but playing a drug person is not. I may need to reach out to my friend who writes a lot of things that involve drugs, so she's actually, like, informed about things.
Well, to be honest, I'm not an expert either, but there's something to be said for someone who both sells and takes the drugs. Sometimes they make mistakes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. All right. Dune!
I'm Merc. I'm mostly on Discord. I have some social medias, but they are not relevant. I don't stream on Twitch. I just watch Zombie Orpheus, basically. Most of the weekdays. They do good stuff.
Yep.
Masters of the Metaverse is where it's at.
Yoo-hoo, that's where I was inspired with Woo Girls, because what is where it's at. These did not turn out to be a team of villains. So, well,
I mean, they're capitalists.
Capitalists, yeah. Elite D-bags, but All right, so chat, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week. Ending broadcast. Bye. Oh, Merc, are you a closet woo girl?
No.
No, okay. Phew. Good night. Bye.